Man, question, guys. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady or you don't feel bad for Tom Brady?
I feel bad for him, but you're right because you're the one who's been saying it's time to ask him about all these distractions.
Yeah, I mean, did he go to Rub and Tug's wedding as well? What was when did he go to that?
Yeah, so Friday night, Robert Kraft,
right,
owner of the Patriots.
Right, what are you laughing at, Rux?
It's not his name.
What?
His name's not Robert Kraft. It's actually Rub and Tug.
Oh, I'm sorry. So he went to Rub and Tug's wedding on Friday in New York. A lot of former Patriot players were there. It was a big deal. Yeah, a little swanky event.
Still, you go to a wedding the weekend that you have a game on Sunday and you're not having the best season, really?
I mean, the game was in Pittsburgh. I mean, it was still the same general geographic area. Fly up to New York a little bit early.
It's the same general. Pittsburgh is the western part of Pennsylvania. It's not the general geographic area.
It's a 1 hour flight.
It's not like Philadelphia to New York. It's a little further, but still, why are you going to a wedding over the weekend where you got a game on Sunday? I don't get it.
Well, that's rude of Robert Kraft to have it during the NFL season if he expects NFL players to be there.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's the middle of the season, Mr. Kraft.
Yeah, Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, who, of course, was involved in that That
All tapes were destroyed
situation.
at the judge's request.
Yeah. And then he's like 81 years old and his wife's like 40-something.
Yeah, 47.
Come on, really?
Good for him.
Really?
What's the point?
I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, but Tom Brady, and we ought to do this later on. We ought to ask the question of our MJ Morning Show audience. Maybe go to phones a little later. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady? Yes or no? I've been saying for weeks and weeks the whole Giselle thing is a total distraction. So he goes off to a wedding. He needs more distractions during the NFL season when the Bucs are lackluster.
I'd say that's probably the best part of his whole week was that wedding.
If video comes out of him doing like the Cupid shuffle, I'm going to be irate. Like, you need to be looking at your playbook.
Jeez. And the Steelers, to lose to the freaking Steelers. Last week, was it the Steelers lost to the Bills like, 38-3 or something?
They're not having a great season either.
Who?
Pittsburgh.
Duh!
Hold on.
Thank you, Moto, master of the obvious.
Okay, we don't come here for a hot sport take.
No,
okay? All right.
we're not your sports station.
I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
Well, I think you're adding some bleep to the table as well. I just don't get it. I don't understand why you're jetting off to a wedding and then Tom Brady went, kind of nuts on the sideline. Andrew, did you get the F-bombs are buried, but you can still hear them. Did you get the F-bombs out? Andrew, how many were there?
A couple.
Did you sure you got them all?
I got a couple.
Okay, he says there's a couple and he got a couple. That means he got them all.
Well, this was when the announcers were speaking, when the play-by-play and the color commentary guy, when they were speaking, and they have the sideline mic up, and you can hear Tom Brady is ripping his offensive line a new one. Hey, here's some of the audio.
For the Steelers are out this afternoon.
That's what Mike Tomlin said. He said, pressure doesn't sack Brady. You have to get there with 4. And now he is fired up to his offense on the sideline.
Yeah, we had to bleep at least 2 F-bombs there. Was there a third? Or I don't think.
What was he saying? I couldn't even hear him.
He's like, you can do better. What the bleep? You can do better out there. You can do effing better out there.
Screw you, Tom. You're partying last night.
No, he was partying on Friday night.
Somebody should just tell him to shut up.
Yeah. Tell him to shut up.
So he was ripping his offensive line a new one.
He's right.
Anyway, who do the Bucs play next week? They play
I have no clue.
The Panthers. So are they on the road again? I think they might be on the road again to the Panthers.
Yeah, October 23rd.
Charlotte.
They play in Charlotte.
And then
Carolina
the week after they play the Ravens.
And that's a Thursday night football game.
You are correct. Yes. So they're going to have a short week getting back to work from Sunday to Thursday. Anyway, Bucs just looked awful. Just terrible.
Outcoached.
Outplayed?
Outplayed.
I mean, listen.
Out
Just
everything.
everything.
Your linemen don't block the defensive lineman. Your quarterback can't throw.
It kind of makes you rethink the whole Brucey deal, huh? Maybe Bruce should have stayed the coach of the team. I don't know if Todd Bowles has what it takes to be a head coach.
I don't think any of these things. I think very large men in steel uniforms outperformed our very large men in Buccaneer uniforms. I think the coaches are fine. Listen, the players have to play.
But the Steelers are terrible.
They're grown-ass men who get paid a lot of money to rip people's heads off.
I realize that, but they're terrible.
And they had 3 corners who were out. They were didn't even have a secondary worth anything.
Since when are you a football expert over here?
It's just something I heard on the way in. But I actually am. You're welcome.
Everybody on that field made it to a professional level. They're all pretty talented athletes.
Uh-huh.
They got them. They got us.
We ought to go to the Tom Brady pity lines later on. We are just getting rolling. It's a jammed up Monday. I got back from Boston yesterday. I'm waiting for my Uber yesterday morning at 5 a.m. to go to Boston Logan. And all these roads were blocked off. My Uber driver couldn't get to me because there were 4 people stabbed right next to my hotel. So
Isn't that weird about Boston?
What do you hold on to that thought? Hang on. Hold on to that thought, Roxanne. We're back in a second. Let me follow up on that. All right, back in a sec. MJ Morning Show. It's Q105. Let's grab traffic and Pat. on Q105. All right, 6:18. You got the MJ Morning Show. Fester, how you doing today? You all right? Why is your hat all filthy dirty?
I don't know. Is it filthy dirty?
Yeah, look at your hat. That's
It's just like sweat stains. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
oh
That's a
God!
big old sweat stain. I was doing some yard work over the weekend.
Hold on. Just hold it at the camera. It's almost like you're desecrating the American flag there with your big fat head sweat.
I was honoring the American flag by my hard work.
Because Fester is wearing an American flag hat today, and it's all like stained.
I was gonna wear a Buccaneers hat today, but I was like, you know what? Nah, I'll just wear this one.
God, reminds me of you want to hear a radio stain story?
I love radio stain stories. It's my fifth favorite kind of story.
Sit around the campfire and hear this one.
Before I came to Tampa Bay, before the Power Pig hired me in February of 94. And, of course, the rest was history. The MJ and BJ Morning Show, and an 18-year run on that radio station. Now, of course, we're back on Q105 now for a couple of years. So they hired me over from West Palm. The owner of the West Palm station was a guy by the name of Meyer Feldman. And he was a pretty nice guy, older dude. Like, I think he was probably in his late 70s or 80s.
Okay.
And he owned a couple of radio stations. And I think his deal was he was one of John F. Kennedy's attorneys or something. He had something back in the 60s. That's his claim to fame, Meyer Feldman. And he's now deceased. I think he's been gone for a while. But the guy was loaded. The guy was worth apparently tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars. And he had a home in Palm Beach. So he would pop into the station from time to time. And whenever this guy would show up, the guy's worth a fortune, right? Owns the radio station.
Right.
It was 95.5 over in West Palm, where I worked for about a year and a half. I left New York City, then went to West Palm to do my first morning show ever. And this guy, Froggy, used to pop into the radio station.
Yeah.
And everything was stained. His shirts were like wear a white shirt. It looked like he had pasta sauce all over his shirt from the night before.
Hey, man.
He had a baseball cap. He used to, what are those baseball caps? Like a golf baseball cap where it has like the braiding up front. You know what I'm talking about? It had like rope braiding across
that's old school.
Yeah, so old school. And the hat like had water stains all over it, or like rust stains, like a rusty pipe had leaked out his hat.
All right, that's old school now. Back then, it was the thing.
The rope hat?
Is this the Meyer Feldman? I found him online. Political aid for Kennedy and Johnson administration.
Yes, that was him.
So he was just preoccupied with all of his business dealings and politics and not very concerned with how he presented himself.
Yeah, he looks like he died in 2007.
Yeah, that's about right.
At the young age of 92.
Wow. I told you it was in like the 80s. It's like I told you. I mean, because I worked for them in 92 and late 92 into 93. And then I was hired by the Power Pig back in January of 94. We started the show in February of 94. Yeah, he's got a Wikipedia page. Does it even talk about his radio station ownership? That's the guy.
Or roped hat?
Yeah, it talks about him working at a law firm in Washington.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Scroll back up to the very top. Go to the very top. All right. So Meyer Feldman was an American political aide to the Kennedy and Johnson administrations, hailing from Philadelphia. Feldman was a trained lawyer and alumnus of the University of Pennsylvania, Ivy League school, served in the Army Air Force during the Second World War. There you go. I don't even know if it talks about him owning radio stations.
It says his active involvement with the Special Olympics.
Yeah. Anyway, so he would show up at the station. Nice guy. And, I talked to him quite a bit when he came in, but everything was stained.
Okay, let's not tarnish his legacy with that because he did all these great things.
Guy had this Palm Beach mansion or something or whatever.
There's an age when old men just don't care if their clothes are stained. Well, and I've just reached that age prematurely. But if you hang out with a bunch of 80-year-olds,
I was there in my 20s.
Yeah.
But, which is quite a contrast. My son, Julian, my God, he's like this fashionista.
Perfectly put together. It's the generation.
Yeah, what is it? My son cares about clothing about 1 billion times more than I ever did or I ever do. Man, I'm like Fred Flintstone over here. I virtually have the same outfit every day.
That's what kids care about these days. Like my nephews and stuff, or my cousins are the same. They have like fancy shoes.
Oh, well, that's it. My kid, but Julian, my son is 18, and his shoe collection, it's like my wife's closet. You know, it's like crazy. It's like, where? How you buying all this stuff?
I wonder.
Who's paying for all this? Me, but.
Yeah, that's the kids these days. Yeah. They care about stuff like that. Me?
I mean, but even all of the tennis shoes all of the sneakers that he has, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, you look at his closet at home and they're all lined up like some kind of Real Housewives closet or something.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm not kidding. All right. So Roxanne, well, I was with Julian. You know, Julian goes to boarding school in Connecticut, and we had parents' weekend this past weekend. So we were up for that. And then they have a couple of days off. So Michelle and Julian, they're like visiting a couple of Boston colleges today. So they're in Boston. So we were in Connecticut. Then on Saturday night, we drove to Boston. And they're continuing on today to a couple of, I think BU and a couple other things. So they're still up there. And, of course, then Michelle has to take them back to boarding school because they go back to school sometime this week. And then, Michelle comes home. But I left yesterday. So I was with them for Parents' Weekend, then drove to Boston with them. I left. I had an early flight. I had a 7 a.m. Delta flight yesterday morning, which, yay, was early. We actually pushed back like 7 minutes early from the gate.
Oh, good for you.
Yes. So
First flight of the day is the one I've always heard you want to get on.
Yeah, that's an old little adage, yeah. So you've got a greater chance of not missing your flight by some kind of lateness or cancellation or, whatever. The first flight of the day, typically the plane is there.
Yes.
So I do on many occasions, we like to grab the first flight of the day. But I was a little later getting to Boston Logan yesterday morning, a little later than I would have liked, and I was still fine because I've got Clear, so I've got they don't have it at Tampa International. Which, come on, Tampa, let's get Clear going on. I don't know if the volume's enough, but do you know what Clear is?
You've talked about it. Yeah, I want to get it too, but I probably ought to first get the regular clearance.
Why don't you get the TSA pre-check first?
The TSA pre-check.
So Clear is a private company, and a lot of major airports, they have the Clear line. And you either do an iris scan or fingerprints, and you have to enroll and you pay a fee. And I don't pay, I get Clear free with my credit card every year, so it works out well. But you go to their line and there's no one there, and they actually then clear you, and then they walk you to TSA, and you don't even have to show your ID at TSA. They just say, "Yep, clear, approved, blah blah blah."
You're clear,
and then they just send you right through. Mm-hmm. So the TSA guy that generally looks at your driver's license now, they put it in that machine. That guy just waves you right in. Don't even talk to him. So it's pretty cool. So I was a little late getting to Boston. Not to the point where I was about to miss my plane, but my Uber driver. I'm watching my damn Uber app yesterday. And the driver is like 3 minutes away. And then it goes to 9 minutes away. I was like, where the hell is this guy going? Did he go to the airport?
I've had that happen before in New York. It drives you bananas.
Where's it? Anyway, turns out I call the guy up because, you have the little call the driver option. I'm like, hey, dude, where the hell are you? I didn't say that. He's like, hey, I noticed you're like getting further away. And he's like, yeah, all the streets are closed. Something's going on with the police. And then I saw online last night that 4 people were stabbed like on the street next to my hotel. So like 2:30, I'm on the street at 5 a.m., 5:20 for the 7 o'clock flight. And I don't check any luggage, plus the Clear deal. So I'm on the street like at 5:15 or whatever, waiting for my Uber. And it's like 3 to 4 minutes away. Then it goes to 9 minutes away. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I checked the news last night. And I saw that 4 people were stabbed, like right next to the hotel we were staying at.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so what was your deal?
So I was there back in like 2015, 2016, I think. And I was staying in Boston. And I left the hotel in the morning just to go get some Dunkin' Donuts. I wanted to find a Dunkin'.
By the way, it's not Dunkin' Donuts anymore. It's
But
just,
back then it was.
It's just Dunkin'.
Yes, now it's just Dunkin'. So
Okay.
I went to go find one, and I just walked, a block or so from the hotel, and this is a nice hotel.
And you got stabbed?
No, but I was offered like every street drug imaginable.
Just walking?
Just walking. Every
Yeah.
time I'd get to a crosswalk, someone would come up and, open their stash of stuff and offer it to me.
Yeah.
It was like,
You want some, girl?
yeah. I mean, they had everything and stuff you would never even hear of.
That sounds like an
what?
extra
What?
bonus.
What stuff have I never heard of?
I don't know.
Why don't you
just-
tell me what?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't know the street names, but I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been angel dust. It could have been.
You want some blister Betty? what-
Blister Bay.
Yeah.
It's Blistex.
so what'd you buy?
I was terrified. I was absolutely horrified. I
You were
was
walking by yourself?
like, I stopped walking and I was like,
And what time of day
Dunkin'
was
down
this?
here. I need. It was in the morning. I was going to catch my flight, and I was like, I need some Dunkin'. But it's So, anyways, you tapped.
That's Dunkin' Donuts back then,
Yes.
by the way.
Okay. It was Dunkin' Donuts, but I was staying at a Ritz, so it was like right off. It was
Really?
1 block from that. So, in other words, my point is, when
You
you
were
said
staying
that,
at the Ritz Carlton.
yes,
I would bet that anything you
How
can-
long ago was this?
it was 2015. I
And was
think.
this involving
Or 2014.
Derek?
No,
Was
it was
this
2014.
was this involving Derek Jeter?
Well, what happened in 2014?
I don't know.
I don't know, he got.
I'm guessing this involved Derek Jeter because it seems that your whole life and travel revolves around Derek Jeter.
Well, it was in New York.
It was.
No, it's Boston.
It was Boston. It was
Oh,
Boston.
Boston.
They have a
Yeah.
baseball team.
Dude, are you
there,
listening
too,
to the show?
Why did I think
Hey.
you're in New York?
Well, maybe if you put your phone down and paid attention to the program.
I'm not even looking at my phone.
Yes,
I don't
you
know
are.
what you're
I'm
talking
looking.
about.
I'm watching you look at your phone.
No. Lies. All lies.
I'm looking at you. You're looking at your phone.
All lies.
The phone is in his hand. and
Which
he's
flight are
looking
you
at it
watching?
As the words are saying, I'm not looking at my phone.
I was watching a knockout.
All
from
right.
this
So what
weekend.
was it? So you were there for Jeter in Boston?
Well, it was 2014. That's the clue. That's the
right.
clue.
I don't know.
Well,
Just
a million
just-
things
Just
happened.
tell me.
That was the year
That
he
was the year he got
retired.
herpes. That was the year he got herpes.
What a shocker.
Oh.
What a
That was
shocker.
the-
Is not.
Hold on. What did you
What?
say?
That's
Wasn't that the year he came down
awful.
with that disease?
Fester?
Wasn't
Lester,
that
that's
the year he got-
despicable.
You're making
Why
me-
would you
Why-
say
Because
something
you're
like
making
that?
me guess. You're like 14. That's the clue. That was the year he
Dude,
came down with the infection, right? The staph infection.
What-
Okay,
Dude,
okay.
why would you say that?
Because
That's
she's
just-
making me guess.
That's like slanderous.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
clue.
Why don't you take
Why-
that back?
I take it back.
Sue him.
Retract that.
A retraction because Roxanne's making us guess. Guess what happened to the 14? I have no clue.
Well,
he got heartburn
Yeah,
after
no,
he ate
no,
some. What?
That's the year he retired.
Oh, you couldn't have told us that. It had to be a big.
That's
guessing
when he
game.
came down with Peyronie's disease.
Oh, but came down with it. He's had it for a while, allegedly.
Happens to a lot
No,
of ball
he,
players.
no, he doesn't.
Oh, does he?
No,
Do
he-
you know?
I don't-
You know who knows? You know who
From
knows?
years of
I'll tell you who
cup
knows.
wearing.
Doug knows. Doug knows.
Fester?
She's making us guess. Guess what happened? 2014 is the clue. I have no idea what happened in 2014. I don't know what happened
Well,
yesterday.
Andrew knew.
Good job, Andrew.
Dig Dug? You think Dig Dug?
Doug.
2014 is the clue. Look, what happened?
Doug.
That was the year when everybody said, "Oh man, he's really going bald."
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had no clue when Derek Jeter retired. I really.
It's okay.
That's the clue. I was thinking I would bet that anything that the Ritz has in their lobby is better than a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I mean, anything at the Ritz. I love Dunkin' Donuts, but if you're at the Ritz, they have some pretty good stuff.
By the way, folks, we have some very odd conversations in the first 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah, we do.
It's just sort of a theme. We have some odd, strange things. All right, so you were offered drugs. There was
lot
4
by
people
some-
were stabbed
yes.
next to my hotel last night, or the night before last. So that was my excitement. Kind of like before I take the break in New York, like back in the 80s, whenever you walk the streets in New York, the guys would mumble, "Coke, smoke, blade,
Well, Coke, smoke, what?
blade."
Oh, okay.
Coke. That was the thing. You'd walk in Manhattan, and this is like back in the 80s, and the dealers were on the street. Coke, smoke, blade. They would whisper as you walk by.
Why blade? What is that?
Switchblade. Coke, smoke, blade.
I'll take a blade, please.
Coke. So Coke, smoke, meaning marijuana, or blade. And that's a switchblade. Wherever you went, it was like you're walking. Coke, smoke, blade.
When you go to
Wait,
Jamaica, they walk behind you and they go, smoke, smoke, smoke. That's all they do.
Really?
Yeah. And I go, let's go meet behind the tree.
Dude.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, I've got a great pile of early morons in the news next. So we'll hit the morons here in minutes. Don't move on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. When it comes Hey, guys, does this sound familiar? Our kickoff to early morons in the news? Listen.
Yeah.
Sound a little familiar?
Yeah, I know who this is. Yeah.
Yeah, little Fleetwood Mac. If you know, they're using this in a car commercial. Is it Chevy? They're using that thing in a new commercial, and it's kind of like revitalized. That was Fleetwood Mac and Everywhere.
Is that what
I wanna
happens?
be with you everywhere. It's kind of a minor hit. It was like from '87, from the Tango in the Night Fleetwood Mac CD, and it wasn't a big hit. I mean, it's really a good song. And then you've got a car commercial just brought the thing back. I think it's a Chevy ad. Do you have the Chevy ad?
Is it the EV commercials?
Yeah, there you go. Hold on. Bring that up. Just go ahead and just play that from the beginning. Yeah, so it's a Chevrolet EV ad. Yeah, go ahead and just hit play. You hear it? And then they're all singing it in the car. And here's the Chevy spot. All right, edit to the hook now.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say.
Oh, this is a long version.
This is the 6-hour version.
Hold on, what do you get? You got like a 2-minute version here?
No, this is 60.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah, so it's a Chevy EV commercial. So there it is.
So is this what happens when these artists sell their catalogs and they have no more control over it?
I don't know. Did Fleetwood Mac sell their catalog? I don't know if they did.
I haven't heard of this in like maybe a year or 2 years, but there was a
Hold on, I'm listening to the voiceover guy.
EVs are for everyone, everywhere.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Chevrolet. You know, you can't spell EV without Chevrolet.
Interesting.
EV's in the middle of it. Think about it.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
They highlight that in the commercial. That's why I didn't realize that until I saw they made the EV blue.
You can't spell EV without Chevrolet, and we're really late to the game.
All right. So let's do some early morons in the news. Ohio softball coach pleaded guilty after sleeping with student. Begged the student, please don't tell, please don't tell, please don't tell.
Oh, God.
What is that noise?
I heard it.
It's a ghost.
Folks, we have this like dragging sound. It's almost like the floor above us, that there's like a huge office space, and they're dragging chairs across the floor on the floor right above us.
I think I know what it is.
But wait a minute. But the problem is what?
Okay.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? I don't know.
There's no freaking floor above us.
Oh yeah, there's definitely not.
It's a 2-story building. But it happens all the time. And I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's like this dragging noise, like someone's dragging chairs across the floor, and we don't know where the hell the sound is coming from.
Let me try something, and tell me if you hear it in 2 seconds, okay?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. What is?
I don't know. He's right down the hallway.
Where's he going?
I don't know.
Quiet. We don't want to be too quiet because that's probably not good for radio broadcasting.
I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't hear anything. The sound is not happening.
Could it be creaky?
No, nothing.
No.
Like
What'd you do? Why'd you leave the room?
I moved the chair. I thought it was the chairs in the kitchen. But I guess it's not.
The kitchen is 60 feet away from us. What are you talking about?
There's some sort of sound. It's coming right into us like a cone.
I'm telling you, there's a noise in this room. Andrew, what the hell? Do you hear it in there?
Yes, and I don't know what it is.
What the hell is the noise?
Could it be like water pipes?
Yeah, I hear it above us.
I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. It's like, is this building haunted?
I remember.
There it is. I just heard it.
Yeah.
We're going to hear it all the time. I don't know if it.
I do hear it all the time.
I know, but Froggy's making it sound like it's like rare. Oh, I just heard it. You're going to hear it 25 times today.
No, there's a sound, and we can't figure out where the sound is coming from, and it's driving me nuts.
I don't think it prints on the air, so people driving around right now don't hear it. So they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think people can hear it on the air, but man, it's loud enough for us to hear it in the studio, but I don't think the mic's picking up. All right, anyway, it's like this mystery.
So a softball coach.
Unsolved mystery. Oh my God, what is going on? Yeah, a former Ohio high school teacher's assistant and softball coach, and I stress the word former. She's pleaded guilty to charges related to a sexual relationship with a student. She reportedly begged the student not to tell authorities. Ashley Risen, 31, in Ohio, New Miami High School in Ohio, facing 5 years in prison, pleaded guilty late last week to sexual battery, gross sexual imposition, in response to allegations that she had sex with a 17-year-old student. Yeah, the indictment states that she engaged in sexual conduct with a minor 8 different times in April of 2021, in addition to what the child tells us, which I don't consider 17 a child. I think like 7, 8. Oh, no. Yeah, listen, it's underage. Plus, even if the student was 18, in most states, even if a student is 18, a teacher cannot mess around with a student, even though they're of legal age, because you're in a position of authority. And a lot of states, doesn't matter if you're an 18-year-old student, you can't have a relationship with the teacher. So 17 years old, the indictment states that they were involved in sexual conduct 8 different times in April of 2021. In addition to what the child tells us, we do have recordings between Ms. Risen and the child where Ms. Risen makes multiple incriminating statements and begging the child not to report it to authorities, according to the Butler County, Ohio assistant prosecutor. The alleged crimes were reported to the Butler County Sheriff's Office in May of 2021. She quit her job at the school that very same day. Prosecutors say that Risen is not being charged with rape by force. It is believed that she engaged in criminal activity with only one victim. So, again, another teacher getting involved with a student.
Isn't Ricin a poison?
Ricin.
Ricin. Oh, that's right.
Ricin, okay. R-I-C-I-N. Not Risen.
Close.
Yeah, her name is R-I-S-O-N.
Okay.
Nah, not really.
Just humoring her.
Not really.
No.
All right. So she began working for the school district back in 2015 and was a coach on the girls' softball and basketball teams. So they don't say whether the student's male or female, but
I mean, she's a
softball coach, and it was a.
What does that mean?
Well, they play the girls play softball.
Yeah, but what are you trying to say about
that's
the
what
coaches?
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's. I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
There's a picture of the coach.
Yeah,
we know who the coach is. We know the coach is female.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, the coach is a female.
Yeah.
Yes,
We know that because she's an adult.
Yeah, her name is Ashley.
So they put her out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So her picture, her mugshot is totally available. But the point is, it's Froggy.
She doesn't look like a softball coach to me.
What does she look like?
More like a cheerleader coach.
Not in this picture. She's not smiling at all.
The point I'm trying to make is, how many more teachers getting it on with student stories do we need for teachers not to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Off
limits.
Probably not going to end well. And again, we've had this influx in the last, 10, 15 years where you hear more about, it seems, female teachers with students versus male students.
That's all you hear about.
Okay, hold on. Think of how many times it ends well.
What?
What are you talking about?
You just said this isn't going to end well. If the student's 17, they have a consensual relationship and never. I think of how many cases.
So
you're
you're classifying that as ending well?
Well, you said this didn't end well.
But it doesn't mean that you have to do. It doesn't mean you take the words and go on. A student-teacher relationship never ends well, even if they don't get busted. It's not something that should happen. Why would you even drag that into the conversation?
Somebody doesn't get busted.
It doesn't end well. It's just no one got arrested.
Yeah, but it doesn't end well. Someone was emotionally damaged at 17.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
You say stupid things lately.
God.
I need you to get a brain scan.
The stupid thing barometer around here really is passed quite frequently.
I need you to get a brain scan.
We need one of those signs like they have in the factory. The last time we've gone 100 days without an injury.
Fester's gone 1 hour without a stupid thing.
A stupid comment.
All right, listen, I got to continue with Morons. It gets better from here, folks. The Morons of the News, Chunk 2, next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, speaking of morons. Q105 702 here on a Monday morning, and 2 weeks from today sucks.
Is that when it happens? I didn't know exactly what weekend it was.
Well, I said
No, it
2
doesn't.
weeks from today sucks.
Well, today's a Monday.
Right. So it's not a weekend. Obviously, if today's a Monday, 2 weeks from today would be a Monday. It's not a weekend.
Oh, I know why. I thought you were talking something else. Fester and I both thought you were talking about something else.
2
but now we
weeks-
just figured it out.
2 weeks from today sucks. All right, what do you think I was talking
I
about?
thought you were talking about the time change. And I was like, no, it's amazing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And that's
no,
actually the following
I
week.
thought you were talking about time change.
No,
No,
dude, no,
no.
because that doesn't suck. Because that's fall back. You
Yeah.
get an hour back. It's the spring ahead that sucks.
I know one sucks and one doesn't suck as much. I
Right.
don't know.
Well, the time going back doesn't suck because you get an extra hour. No, 2 weeks from today, Monday, sucks.
Oh, why are you saying it like that?
yeah, I mean, what
Well,
sucks
all
is
right,
how
all
you
right,
say
all
sucks.
right, I'm sorry. All right,
Yeah.
all right. 2 weeks from today sucks. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Halloween being on a Monday.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So Halloween is 2 weeks from today, and that sucks. A Monday Halloween. My God, I'm going to put spike strips in my driveway. I don't want to be messed with on a Monday night. Where can I buy those spike strips? Can I buy them at like a police supply store?
Yeah, of course you can.
Can you
get-
buy those?
Yeah, you can buy stop sticks and spike strips. Absolutely.
Can you?
You can probably have like the ones like at the rental car or
Who
airport.
just molested their microphone? Was that you, Andrew?
I may have moved it.
Okay, yes.
or molested.
Do they start coming to your door before you finish your second show?
That would be early.
Yeah, you know what? I think they do. Yeah. So,
They take the little kids out super early, like the
Yeah.
babies.
but luckily we got a whole fence and gate around the place, so they can't just come up to the door.
All right,
In the
so
moat.
for $1,200,
I don't have a moat. Yes.
For $1,200, you can
Yes.
get a hydraulic spikes that install into your pavement that pop up and come up and down.
But don't install them the wrong way because then you'll
How
make
is that
it.
Hold on.
possible?
You mean like the rental car
Yeah.
lots?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Where you don't back up, you can't back up?
I take it back. They're not hydraulic; they're spring loaded. But if you back up, it'll pop your tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1,200.
Yeah, but that doesn't work for kids. I need
It works on golf carts.
plenty of those things.
Yeah.
Plenty of those things tooling around the neighborhood. All right, so Morons chunk number 2 here. Tennessee fans steal goalposts?
Have you seen the video of this?
Yes.
University of Tennessee, the Volunteers.
Yes.
They beat the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, so the Tennessee fans, they stole goalposts after the Vols took down the number 3 Alabama football team 52-49.
Number 3? Since when are they number 3?
100,000 Tennessee fans stormed the stadium field, and they started ripping apart the goalpost.
That's not good.
Yeah, way to celebrate Tennessee.
They
I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, this was a.
Do you have the audio on this?
This is a big game. I mean, the ripping of the.
Chase McGrath.
Yeah, here's the field goal.
For the Volunteers.
And this was for the win, right?
Yep.
From 40. On the way, a knuckleball. He got it.
My God, 49, he gets it. And Alabama beats Tennessee.
And then all the
I'm sorry, correction. Tennessee.
Holy cow.
Tennessee beats Alabama 52-49.
Who's paying for all the fireworks?
Oh, man, I tell you what.
Boosters.
Tell you what, Felix Fudge is all pissed off. Somebody want to see if Felix Fudge is breathing this weekend?
Tell you what, people live and die by that Alabama team.
Oh, I'm telling you. Listen, I know numerous people that live and die by Alabama.
All these college teams have their honk fans.
Whole Roll Tide thing and all that. And
then you see people online on Saturday. Hey, go Rocky Top.
What? Rocky Top?
Rocky Top, Tennessee. Yeah.
They don't call the Vols Rocky Top.
Okay.
That's their fight song.
Yeah, I mean, you are the smallest sports fan I've ever met.
But I never heard the Vols called Rocky Top.
It's a
that's their fight song.
I know that it's Rocky Top, Tennessee. But I've never heard the Vols called Rocky Top.
Yeah,
they might play the song, but they're not called the Rocky Tops.
Okay,
no,
I'm not going to
Volunteers.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you over college football semantics. I'm just telling you, go Rocky Top. Huh. The same way Roll Tide is, they don't serve rolls at the Crimson games.
So were people able to leave the stadium with chunks of the uprights?
Dude, it ended up in the river. It ended up in the river. The goalpost was thrown in the Chattahoochee, whatever river. I don't even know what river it is. I have no idea what river it is.
It rolled in the tide, yeah.
Yeah, they brought it downtown. I saw pieces of the goalpost in bars.
Are they nuts?
Now, can you? And I saw the video of people like climbing up and ripping out pieces of goalpost, and then taking the goalpost. But why did the police stop them? I mean, the place is crawling with like state troopers and cops usually. So why did they allow fans to walk? And can you get a new goalpost for like next week? I mean, are these a special order item?
No, they sell them at the goalpost.
It might be a different color, but
can you go to Dick's and get new stadium goalposts?
Well, why? I don't understand. How are they taking it apart? Isn't a goalpost one big piece of metal?
Yeah, but
most people go to football games with the ratchet sets.
Yeah, I guess
they had ratchet sets with them.
Give me my seesaw. My sawzall.
I'm on the CNN site. I plan a commercial now, but video of people throwing it into the river.
That's not good for the river.
Did they retrieve the goalpost out of the river?
It sank.
To reassemble it?
It does not float.
Anyway, that's crazy. You're going to love this. Let's go to South Carolina. South Carolina man steals cremated remains of ex's mom to sell for heroin.
That's, I mean, I was going to say creative, but that's just awful.
It's a lot of times it's not good when like an ex comes back into your life.
Yeah.
But this is really especially bad when an ex steals cremated remains of your mama and then sells them. Listen to this. A South Carolina man stole the cremated remains of his ex-girlfriend's mother so he could buy heroin. Jackson, you got a problem here. Jackson Rutland, 19 years of age. Son, that's no way to go through life. Texted his ex around 5:40 in the morning on Wednesday last week and told her that he had taken her mother's ashes from her home while she was visiting a friend. When the woman returned home, she found the rear door busted in and the home ransacked. She told police her mother's ashes had been tampered with and some were spread on the floor. Oh my God. Can you imagine this? Rutland had allegedly swiped the remains to sell to buy heroin. Is there a market for somebody's remains? Cremate ashes?
Creepy.
How much could you possibly raise?
I don't know. Who buys ashes? What do you go to a pawn shop? Hey, how much can I get for these ashes?
She was a heck of a lady. Need some good ashes.
So Rutland had allegedly swiped the remains to buy heroin, according to the arrest warrant, although it's not clear how or why he thought that he could sell the ashes for cash. And that's my question here.
Okay, when you first started telling the story, I just filled in details myself in my head, and I thought you meant he was stealing the ashes to package it to make it look like heroin.
Just go get some flour. Just go to the go to the Piggly Wiggly and get some flour.
Why is this heroin crunchy and gray?
Why does it have bone fragments in it?
What a sicko. And his mugshot makes him...
Yeah, local police in South Carolina, Aiken County, said, we've never heard anything like this. Well, duh. Guy was arrested late last week, charged with destruction and desecration or removal of human remains, as well as burglary. Man, throw that guy in jail. Throw away the key. Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know if this woman got any of Mom's ashes back, but I guess some were spilled on the floor or the carpet in the place. That is terrible.
That's when it's handy to have a Dyson, because all the stuff collects in like the little plastic compartment. You just drop it right back in there. And
with whatever dust and cockroach legs.
It is on the floor.
Yeah.
Did you say mix Mom's ashes with cockroach legs?
I said that's when it's handy to have the Dyson, which we have one of those, and they're really great. You just hit a little eject button, and all the gunk that there picks up comes out of the bottom. You could sift through it and retrieve a portion of Mom's ashes, but there'd be other things like, stray hairs, Captain Crunch pieces, especially at my house, and then occasionally cockroach legs.
Did you see the story about some guy shooting at dicks?
No.
Oh, that doesn't sound right, does it?
No, it didn't. I just let it go.
Good aim.
I didn't even comment on it.
That didn't come out right.
I mean...
What did I say? Did you hear the story about the guy shooting at Dick's?
Yes.
It was Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't somebody shooting at like anatomy.
Right.
Yeah. Roseville, Michigan.
Oh, he got me.
Yeah, got me at Dick's. No, there was shots fired outside of a Dick's Sporting Goods store up in Michigan. And they had to close the whole store down, and the whole mall was being evacuated. All right, I just did the story because of the Dick's joke. All right,
that's
the only reason why. All right, I don't need to say anything else. It was just the Dick's joke. Okay, you don't even need to look it up online, there, Fester.
Well worth it.
It was just the guy shooting at Dick's.
You know what? You shouldn't even have told us it was a Dick's Sporting Good. You should have gone with your first sentence and just let it go.
That's the end of that story. It's all over. It's done with. All right. Hey, when we get back. How does a restaurant stay open when you find a dead body inside? Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
All right. Also coming up, the rudest things you can do in somebody's house. This was my little promo over the weekend, coming up on Monday. Rudest things you can do in somebody's house. Fester, I'm guessing you've done all this and more. All right, hang on. All that coming up. And we got the long chunk of the MJ Morning Show in just a bit. So minutes away, we start, an hour and 20 minutes, nonstop MJ Morning Show. We do it every morning at about 7:23, and that's next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. MJ Morning Show. Hey, folks, MJ here, 724, and boom, this begins the long chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Just count on it. Every morning, it varies depending on how long that song is. So, 7:23, 7:24, we start an hour and 20 minutes nonstop right now. No interruption. It's just solid MJ Morning Show. Hey, I got a bone to pick with you. Roxanne.
You just pointed at me?
I did.
Huh?
Well, because you don't even realize what you just said to me. I got an issue with Roxanne.
I don't even know what I said to you.
Well, I'll refresh your memory in just a little bit. So look, how are you racking your brain? Think about what we've talked about. All right, hang on. I got an issue with Roxanne. We'll get to that here in just a second. Hey, I got a story out of Largo. Froggy, why? Are you okay?
I'm just really hot. Why?
You're fanning yourself.
I've got flop sweats today.
I've never. Are you sick?
I don't know. I don't feel kind of that great today. No, I feel fine. It's just a little hot.
Why are you fanning yourself? I know that the studio, they still can't get the air conditioning right in the studio.
I'm just really hot today for some reason.
It's really unbelievable. And, you walk down the hallway, there's like this twisty-turny. First of all, whoever laid this whole building out, whoever did this whole studio design was clearly on some type of an illicit drug. I mean, they were clearly on crack or
psychedelics, I think.
Methamphetamine or magic mushrooms, something. But Froggy, are you sweating?
I was earlier, but I feel better now. I found a folder to.
I mean, Froggy,
can you hear that?
Yes, we can hear that.
Just a little bit though, so it's fine.
Oh, I feel so good. I need a Misty Mate. Remember those? Put them around your neck and they blow mist in your face.
That's great. Yeah, let's get
like
one
at
of
the
those.
grocery store.
Yeah. So Roxanne, I'll get to your issue in just a second here.
Sounds like your issue.
What?
I said, it sounds like your issue.
No, it's your issue.
Whoa.
It's not my issue. It's your issue. I got an issue with you. We'll get to that here in just a bit. All right, so I got a story out of Largo. Restaurant has a dead person inside. Somebody expires in the restaurant.
A patron or
did I mention it's not Largo, Florida? It's Largo, Maryland.
Oh,
there's another Largo.
That's what also.
I had no idea.
That blew me away. I had no idea there's another Largo. And when I saw this Largo, I'm like, well, geez, it seems that everything's happening in Largo these days. Largo and Pinellas Park, they've been just red hot with all kinds of crazy crap. So I'm looking at the story. The headline was Jasper's Restaurant in Largo remained open with dead body inside. So I'm like,
is it like a mobster type restaurant?
No. Hang on. I'm like, and I saw the headline, Jasper's Restaurant in Largo. All right, listen, I never heard of Jasper's in Largo. And then I see the rest of the story. It's in Prince George's County, Maryland. I had no idea there's a Largo, Maryland.
All right, I have pulled up every Largo in the country.
Oh my God, there are 1, 2, 3. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 7 Largos. I don't need the international ones, dude.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's Largos all through Brazil. It looks like there's
a Largo in California, north of San Francisco. There's a Largo in New Mexico. There's a Largo in Tennessee. There's a Largo in Maryland. We got the Largo here in Florida. Now go upper Midwest. There's a Largo in Minnesota. Yeah.
Wow. How about that?
I had no idea. Listen to this. If you were the owner of a restaurant and a customer expires inside during opening hours, do you just continue going about business?
I mean,
yeah.
You say opening hours. I hate to lose a whole day over something that's going to happen to every one of us.
It was the dinner crowd.
Oh, so it was the end of the day. Okay.
But no, it's
the beginning of the shift of the dinner crowd.
6:30 at night. That's the beginning of dinner, really. Okay. Can you bring up Jasper's restaurant menu, please?
Yeah.
Let me know. Give me the Jasper's Largo, Maryland. What if there's a Jasper's and Largo right down the street here?
There should be.
So the restaurant remained open while a dead body was left inside the women's bathroom for hours. The Prince George's County Police got a phone call around 6:30 p.m. Wednesday last week for a woman unconscious inside Jasper's. The EMTs arrive on the scene and said the deceased patron likely died of a heart attack. Can you imagine you're at dinner in a restaurant, you go to the restroom, and you have a heart attack in the bathroom?
Oh, it's bad.
Okay, so
That's like an Elvis deal or something.
I went to Jasper's website.
Yeah.
And they're
look,
getting a lot more traffic than they normally do.
Oh, there's a big pop-up. Oh, my God. Look at this. I'm glad I told you to go here.
Yeah, this is great.
So when you go to Jasper's in the spirit of fun, that's their slogan.
Aw.
Yeah, it's real fun. You got a dead lady in your bathroom.
It looks like a nice place.
And you still have the lady bringing out the waitress is still bringing out the mozzarella sticks. That's great.
I like the appetizer sampler and the quesadillas, please.
When you go to the Jasper's restaurant menu, there's a pop-up to our loyal patrons. On Wednesday night, one of our customers tragically passed away within our establishment. On behalf of our ownership, management, and staff, we send the sincerest and most heartfelt support and condolences to the deceased family. We will be reaching out to the family to see if there's any way we can support them in this time of grief. What are they going to give them, $10 off coupons?
Dude. A couple of hats.
Then it says, we immediately contacted county authorities and followed their protocol and procedure. Under the authorities' guidance, we closed the area to the patrons until all emergency services could arrive and follow the direction of the authorities. Oh, my God. They must be getting a ration of schnit here that's unbelievable. They must be getting it big time. How dare you? Can't believe you stayed open. You got a customer that died in the bathroom during dinner hours on Wednesday, and you guys just kept the whole place open? Yeah, sorry, would they put the wet floor thing in front of the ladies' restroom?
Dead lady in here.
Sorry, you can't go in, dead lady.
Oh, yeah, instead. Yeah,
it's not wet floor, it's dead lady.
Yeah, so you can go to Home Depot.
Get the dead lady sign.
You can go to Home Depot and get the wet floor sign, but can you get the dead customer sign?
Dead customer.
Caution.
I don't know if I have that big a problem with it. They closed the section.
Which death stall
why
was she in?
Why should they close the whole restaurant? The whole restaurant seats 200 people. Why should they kick you out mid-meal?
How do you know how many people the restaurant seats?
Okay, 80 people, 40 people, 25 people.
You're just throwing out numbers.
However big the restaurant is, you want them to come to your table? Sir, somebody died in the bathroom.
Jasper's was full. The story says the place was packed. Wednesday night, 6:30. According to the police report, the women's bathroom was closed off to customers, but the men's bathroom remained open right next to it.
I don't see the problem.
Well, there's a dead... I mean, if you have a customer that
Look
dies...
at the size of this place. It's big.
If you have a customer that dies in your restaurant, do you just keep operating? Did the manager or the owner say, oh, my God, this is my dinner crowd. The place is packed. I can't run everyone out. Tell you what, the food looks really good at this place.
It does.
What happens if someone dies on a plane? It still just goes to its destination, right?
Well,
it's not like
there's a little difference between an airplane in the air.
I know.
Well, sometimes they make an emergency landing.
Right.
It depends. If you have a passenger that expires on the plane, then sometimes they'll do an emergency landing, or sometimes it depends how far away they are from the destination. I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the Jasper's website, and the food is that a gumbo?
It's a Cajun jambalaya.
Oh man, that looks good.
Well, the captain of Jasper's just
look
said,
at those corn and black bean taquitos. Oh man, I'll tell you what, the pictures that Fester's bringing up on the Jasper's Largo, not Florida, Maryland menu looks great.
You know, when I was a bag boy and the other bag boy who was in his 80s died and smacked his head on the counter register and died.
What?
Remember I told you a couple weeks ago.
What? Say it again?
When I was a bag boy, one of the other bag boys, you know how they have old bag boys sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. You have some guys who are way too old for this job.
One kicked it like a couple aisles down from me while he was bagging groceries.
Somebody died in Publix?
Yeah.
So a bagger died in Publix?
Yeah, and his wife was actually a cashier the same day. But that's besides the point.
Hold on. How long ago was it? When you were a kid?
Oh, my God. Yeah, when I was a teenager.
Well, you were like, what, 16?
I worked there from 15 to 20, maybe. So within that 5-year period.
You're telling me that a bagger collapsed and hit his head and died?
He smacked his noggin hard.
At
you
Publix?
heard it. Yeah. And I will say.
What location was this?
Do I really have to get the
Yes.
location?
Yeah.
Why are you going to look bad? You're going to go in the...
Hold on. Which Publix?
It was store number 399 on Waters and Hanley.
That's very efficient.
Store number 399?
Yeah.
Are you... Rest in peace. How old was the bag guy?
Oh, dude, he was an old man.
I mean, have you ever
But I think
gotten-
he had a heart attack while bagging and died. And I'm trying to get to the point here that Publix did not close that day. They took care of the situation and then went on with business. As usual, where shopping is a pleasure.
I mean, if he would have died in the aisle that I'm trying to go in, I'd be like, oh, come on.
No, he died in the front end, so it was an easy cleanup. You know, it didn't affect the...
Did they make an announcement? We got to clean up front end.
All right, Festus, stop.
He
it.
was my
And
friend,
I'm not
Fester.
going to even tell you what Andrews just said in my ear.
What did Andrew say about my friend?
Andrew, our producer, in my little earpiece here, in my headphones, he can talk to me off the air, or Andrew can come on. All right, Andrew, why don't you say what you just said?
Yeah.
Why don't you just said?
Oh, God.
Why you say what you just said?
Go
Go
on,
on,
Andrew.
go on.
I can't. I'm laughing too hard.
It's not funny.
It's his birthday. He's
I
trying to be a
realize-
shock jock.
Froggy, what was this, like 30 years ago?
Oh, my God. How old do you think I am?
You're
it was
like 40. How old are you?
I'm 42.
All right, so
and it was when I was
28
like,
years ago.
Something like that.
All right, 20 Oh, I'm far off.
It was a long time
Andrew,
ago.
Andrew, what'd you say?
I asked if they bagged him up.
Oh,
That's
God,
That's
come on.
bad.
That's
Or plastic.
terrible.
That's the most appropriate question we've asked so
terrible.
far.
You guys didn't hear me. It's Andrew's birthday today. Let him be a shock jock if he wants to.
Andrew. Happy
It's
birthday.
Andrew Stern.
Welcome to the Andrew
I think somebody already has that name.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
Andrew Stern
So
show.
it's your birthday?
It is.
Happy birthday,
Listen
Andrew.
to his enthusiasm.
Thank
How
you.
old are you, Andrew?
I am 52.
Wow. Look at that. So the
Catching up to you, Todd.
there you go. Hey, the owner, Fred Rosenthal, said the coroner did not arrive until 2 hours later. The woman's body was eventually removed from a side door of the restaurant. You mean they didn't drag her out through the whole restaurant in front of... By the way, the Jaspers looks really nice inside. The food looks good, and the place looks really nice inside.
Hey, Sil, take her out the back, Sil.
Fred Rosenthal. That was my dentist's name at Virginia Beach when I was a kid, by the way.
Sounds like a dentist.
Was Dr.
name.
Fred Rosenthal. Yeah,
I'm Dr. Fred Rosenthal. Welcome.
That was my dentist right on Virginia Beach Boulevard, a little up from Independence.
Is it the same guy?
So, anyway, the management of Jaspers told Fox 5 in Washington, D.C. they feel horrible about what transpired on Wednesday. They're in the process of trying to find the woman's family members to apologize.
How
And
old was she? Did I miss that?
It doesn't say.
I wonder if she was an old timer.
It does not say the age of I don't have the name of the woman, nor do I have the age of the woman. So, but I'll tell you what, Jasper's got a hell of a good menu
Yeah,
there.
everything looks good.
Ooh, the spicy shrimp and chicken pasta. Ooh, blackened salmon.
So it's not an Italian place, I take?
No, Jasper's.
Jasper's is a little bit of everything.
It's like an American fare. I don't know. You're right. It's a little bit of everything. Anyway, Roxanne, got a little issue with you.
Okay. What might that be?
Guys, you were out of the room.
Today's Monday, right?
Today's Monday.
All right, chicken and rice is the soup of the day at Jasper's.
Ooh.
They have a whole soup calendar. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Yeah.
to distract you. I know you have an issue with Roxanne.
I
That
think
sounds
they
so
ought to have mystery meat Monday.
All right, so Monday it's chicken and
Because
rice.
of what happened.
Tuesday, Sunday it's baked potato soup.
Ugh.
Wednesday, Friday it's chicken, sausage, gumbo. And then Thursday, Saturday it's chicken tortilla. So they all
When's
I'm-
Dead Lady Pie?
I'm done with Jasper's.
The soup du jour, lobster bisque.
And I was kind of double fascinated because it happened in Largo. Largo, Maryland, not Largo, Florida.
I mean, I lived here a long time and never heard of a restaurant called Jasper's.
Hey, one of the texters worked with Froggy at Publix and remembers that person dying. And
I told you.
actually-
I told you.
But you had one little detail wrong. His wife was a bagger, not a cashier.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were both baggers?
Wait, who is it?
They were
Who's
double
a person.
They were double baggers.
I wonder who that could be. Yeah,
this
it was
person
very
was a
traumatic.
cashier.
Wow.
Very
All right.
traumatic.
And I'm guessing that she's not alive anymore because that was 28 years ago, and if they were elderly, right?
They were both kind of old. I used to pay the guy $5 to do my card hour.
Oh, you made the old guy go out to the parking lot to retrieve all the shopping carts
Yeah,
that
we each had
people
to
are
do
too
an hour.
lazy to bring back to the corral?
I gave him $5.
I don't know that you made $5.
Barely.
Wow.
Barely.
You know, what percentage of supermarket customers just abandon the shopping cart, like in between cars, push it up on a curb,
It tells a lot about the person, actually.
versus bringing it back to the cart corral?
You got to bring it back. You got to be a good person.
Put it in the cart corral, right?
Yeah, of course.
So that's what it's called. It's called
The cart corral.
No. when you go out and do Publix cart retrieval.
Cart hour.
Cart hour?
Cart hour.
And you had to be out there for an entire hour, and I hated it.
What if it was raining? Did they give you an umbrella?
No, you had to do it in the rain.
How
dude.
about a Publix poncho?
Yeah,
had to
they have
do it.
ponchos.
Yeah.
You can't let those carts sit.
I've got a little issue with Roxanne. You guys were out of the room. Guys, prepare to be horrified.
Oh, God.
I have no clue what you're going to say. I said nothing horrifying this
yes,
morning.
you did. You defrauded your kids.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about now?
Now I do, but that's...
Listen to this. She took her kids to Disney and didn't actually take them into the park. They rode the... You think it's funny?
What? You guys need to go in the park?
She put them on like the Sky Ride and said, "This is Disney."
The monorail. You just rode the monorail?
Yeah, I saw a picture of you in the...
No, it's not the monorail. It's the Skyliner.
The Skyliner.
The Skyliner. It's like, is it a cable car deal?
Yeah, it's like a gondola, but it's enclosed.
the new Disney gondolas.
So took the kids on the gondola and said, "This is Disney, kids." And what?
It?
You got to be kidding me!
Dude, I would do that.
We did other fun stuff, but I was like, this is fantastic.
You defrauded your kids.
They saw everything. Look, there's Tower of Terror. Look, there's Epcot. There's the big ball, the spaceship.
You pointed to you didn't take it. So they have no idea what's on the other side. The characters that are running around, getting ready, being able to ride Dumbo.
My kids love Disney.
The teacups. So you have no idea what I was going to bust you about. You tell me this.
I thought that was a good thing. I thought it was I'm happy to share this, actually. I think it's like a pro tip. My kid is 5.
Pro tip?
Yes.
That's a ride you could be riding.
Drive all the way to Disney and just put your kids on the cable car and say, "Hey, this is Disney."
Yeah,
Thank you.
I am notorious for breaking into Disney hotels and using the pool. And then
I'm
we
not
leave.
talking about the cable car in the park, like near Adventureland. Do they still have that, Andrew? Has that been like dismantled?
What ride are you talking about?
The old cable cars. The old.
Oh no, there's no more. There's no Sky Ride inside the park.
Yeah, so inside the park for years they had the regular like cable cars.
Right, that Sky Ride is long gone.
That's gone. I mean, those little cars you rode in looked like they were 1957.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. Big deal.
Hold on. You have no issue with Roxanne taking her kids all the way to Disney and not actually taking them in the park?
I mean, we did other stuff.
Why would you do that? Why would you even go there?
Did you have to pay?
What was the other
Disney?
fun stuff?
Yeah,
Okay. So we got there. It was just a quick trip. We got there Saturday. We went to Cirque du Soleil at the
Disney Springs.
Yeah. Went to eat. And then we got up in the morning, and then we said, let's take them around on the Skyliner. We took them on a little ferry boat. Same thing, like to the
fun.
boardwalk.
Hey, kids, we're at Disney. Here's a ferry boat ride in the Skyliner.
And I look at my sister.
They missed all the rides.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, they
What do you
saw
mean they don't
everything.
care?
Daviana, yeah, she was so happy. We were in the Skyliner. We rode that half the day. She couldn't have been happier.
You deprived your kids. Guess what? She would have been even more happier.
Would she? With
On
those
the Little
lines?
Mermaid
With the
ride?
lines and stuff?
Yeah,
Really?
fast pass it.
See, that's what I figured out. I'm like, my sister came with me. I was like, this is brilliant. Like, if you want to save money and you want to have a good time, you don't have to stand in any of the lines. And
Hey, Roxanne Wilder, you just ripped your kids off. You just defrauded your kids at Disney. What you gonna do next? Yeah, what's next?
I only defraud my kids at Disney.
You lied to your kids.
it wasn't that I lied.
Have they?
I
So
was
they've
like,
never
look,
been.
there's
They've
Epcot.
never been an actual Disney.
They have been to actual. Well, Daviana has not.
Right. So your 2.5-year-old has never been an actual Disney.
No, she has
So
not.
what about your 5-year-old? Did she not? Was she too young and doesn't even remember what real Disney is?
Possibly.
That's what it sounds like. Did
What are all those people doing walking around down there, Mommy?
Did your 5.5-year-old, what's your old one?
Evelyn Jade.
Did Evelyn Jade say, but Mommy, last time it was a lot more fun?
She had her little resting bee face on, wondering why we weren't getting off.
No, that's
Yeah.
permanent. She always has a resting.
Oh, so she knew. She's like, what is this?
No. Roxanne's 5.5-year-old, I'm telling you, has like total resting.
Don't say that about her.
But she
That's
does.
And when
You've said that.
Yeah,
Hold on, Roxanne told me that.
That's how he knows.
I had like a long conversation with her, like when we greet people, we need to show them how happy we are to see them. And she's like, God made my expression like this. So she knows she
Your
has
kid's
one.
like Damien, I'm telling you right now.
MJ, I have no issue with this. Listen, hold on. If
You have no issue with going to Disney, telling your kids, hey, kids, we're at Disney, and taking them on just like some of the transportation rides and not even going into the park?
We've gone to hotels and just looked at Christmas setups.
Well,
and
dude,
then left.
I'm talking to
You're
a
on
guy.
another level,
I'm
dude.
talking to a guy that goes to Celebration and parks the car in the hotel parking lot and then walks through the lobby, pretends he's a guest, and takes the kids to their lazy river for the entire day.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful area.
That's a whole town. But listen, we went to, where did we go? We went to the Mardi Gras themed one, the down in New Orleans, Port New Orleans. And we parked. We used the hotel. We took the boat from
Right.
the back of the
It's
hotel all the
relaxing.
way to Disney Springs. Had quite the day and saved what? $700 between tickets and food and all that stuff.
You never took your kids
No.
inside the park?
And they have a fun day.
How many parents do this? How many parents don't go inside the park?
Not enough.
Call me crazy, but every time we went into the park.
You're ripping your kids off.
So a couple of years ago, I had like Florida resident passes, but then I think before COVID, we let them expire. And big deal. I don't need to go there and spend that much money. The kids are gonna have a good time either way. My kid's favorite thing at Disney is the stinking Lego store.
Yeah.
In in Disney Springs.
That's not even in Disney.
I know.
I did take my kids to the pool after we were done with that at the
That's
hotel.
great.
We stayed to the Art of Animation.
Oh, do you have your key still?
Fester,
Do you have your key?
Fester wants the key so he can just pull into places and flash the key like he's a guest.
Dude, you want the pro tip? You want me to out the whole way you can go to any Disney hotel?
Go
Don't
ahead.
do that.
I mean, there's millions of people.
That's
Disney
fine.
police.
I'm well past going to Disney with the kids.
Okay, the pro tip is you have to go online and make a reservation at a restaurant to get past the security.
Right.
And you say, yep, we're eating at the Flick-a-Flack the diner. And they're like, okay, go right in.
Right.
And then once you're in, you go anywhere you want. And then you cancel the dinner reservation.
Oh, God. You are such a scam artist.
You walk in, you walk up to the,
My
hey, listen,
God.
we just ordered a pizza. We're not going to be able to make this reservation for 7:30. And they'll cancel it. They don't charge you anything. Because if you don't cancel it, they'll charge you like $10 or something.
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, one thing, if you're canceling it the same day, reschedule it for a day, a few days ahead, and then cancel it. Otherwise, if you cancel it the same day, they may still charge you.
No, because I'm leaving. I'm a guest. I'm a visitor. We're leaving town. We're just passing through.
Moving along. But listen, Roxanne, that was just terrible. You're lying.
They had a great
You're
time.
lying. They would have had a much better time if you actually took them into the park and
the
let them go
lines?
on the rides.
You know what? I think that's not 100% true. Listen, Disney's great, and we all love Disney, but it's a chore. It's a lot of work. It's long.
Wipes you out.
I mean, how many things do you think my kids wait 90 minutes in line for?
All right, we got to talk about the Bucks and what a loss yesterday. That was a gimme game. So we'll talk about the Bucks. We'll talk about Tom Brady. There are numerous Tom Brady issues, and I think we ought to go to the Tom Brady phones to see if people are feeling bad for Brady or, also Brady did something on Friday night, which I don't think is too cool considering that they lost to the terrible Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, we'll get to all that in a second. First, though, it is 7:47 here at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And I want to talk about the rudest things that you can do in somebody else's house. Fester, I'm guessing you've done all this and more.
I probably have.
Probably in my house.
At least half the things.
When I have an event outside in my house, like when I have the crew over for like Christmas dinner or something, like holiday dinner, I rent up one of those porta-johns, put it in the driveway, make all the guests use that.
That's right.
Yeah,
No,
we're not allowed to go to the bathroom when you go to MJ's.
No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. That's not
He
true.
has a hole. He gives you a shovel and says, "Go dig a hole."
All right, easy on the water, boys. You're not going to be able to.
The rudest things that you can do in somebody else's house. And Fester, I'm guessing you've done everything here.
It's like snooping through the medicine cabinet on the list
hang on a
because
minute.
that's my go-to.
Let's go. Number one, touching and moving things.
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah, I touch and move thing.
I remember when I was a kid, I touched everything.
You strike me as that type.
Everything. And it used to be a thing with like some relatives. It's like, stop touching everything. I'd pick up like expensive pieces of like Waterford crystal or Yadro, the figurines. Here I'm like some 5-year-old. I'm picking up all kinds of expensive crap. I touched everything. Yeah. So one of the rudest things you can do at someone else's house is just touch and move things. And when I think of Fester doing all this stuff. Expecting a tour. Seriously, why do people think that when you go to someone's house, hey, you going to show me around?
Hey, give me the tour. All right,
Hey,
give me the tour.
who wants to give a tour?
I'm trying to think. I mean,
Why do people expect a tour, Roxanne?
Well, I'm thinking the other way. Sometimes someone gives me a tour and
I don't
need
want one.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, so you had people just like foist a tour upon you?
Let me give you a tour.
You were an
okay.
unwilling participant?
Welcome to our 1,800 square foot ranch style. Master's over there, 2 bedrooms over there, 1 bathroom's in the hallway.
No, like what if you get to the house and you're like really thirsty and hungry and you get a tour instead? Just want to drink.
Next, overstaying your welcome. It's like, the guest that wouldn't leave.
Lingers.
Yeah.
Lingers, man.
Fester, you're not much of a lingerer. You kind of
No,
get the
I'm out.
hell out.
I get out too.
Yeah.
I'm not a lingerer.
Fester's
So-
in and out.
Overstaying your welcome. Do not linger. That's something rude. Oh, hiding a mess. So if you do something, if you like spill something or if you mess something up, try to just kind of hide it. Putting
Puke
something
under
on
a couch cushion.
Putting something on top of it.
We went to a Christmas party once at a neighbor's house, and they serve like little cocktail plates, like the little hors d'oeuvre plates, like the 4 or 6 inch plates.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting on the couch and we're eating something, and there's no place to put the plate, so I put the plate under the couch. And then they invited us back for Easter, and it was still under the couch.
Oh my God, really? Oh my God.
Like, look, Allison, we're never coming here again.
I could see like Fester's wife spilling like a whole glass of red wine on a couch and Fester just taking one of the throw pillows and putting it over the stain.
Dude, you want to see me get into serious crisis mode? I'm like, honey, just cover it up. Get up and walk away. Don't look back.
Just leave.
This reminds me of when I was younger, in my 20s. Me and my bunch of buddies went to our friend's house that we've never been to his house, and I had to use the restroom, and he goes, "Don't flush, because we save water around here." And I'm like, "What are you talking?"
Your friend said, "Well, listen, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's
No.
flush it down.
No.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what
it doesn't matter in this household.
Really?
So they would.
So how many uses before they flush?
They would put their used toilet paper in a garbage can
That's disgusting.
right by the toilet.
What?
And we got bitched at for flushing.
He's serious?
Okay.
Yeah,
First
you
of
just
all,
put it in the toilet.
All right, next. So, folks, if you're just tuning in, these are the rudest things that you can do in somebody else's house. The next one is snooping. Fester,
I do that too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Snoop Dogg. Yeah, you take me to your house.
Snoop Dogg, dog,
I'm opening up the medicine cabinet, and I have my cell phone out Googling what prescriptions are.
Why don't you just take photos and then when you get home, do it?
You go into their bathrooms, and if you don't know what drug it is, you're Googling the prescription name to see what it's for?
That's how I found out my friend Jason's wife is bipolar.
Oh, my God!
Fester, are you nuts?
Oh, my God!
Yeah, like, oh. I'm like, psst, hey,
Dude.
Did you know Claire's bipolar?
Dude, that is terrible.
Are you nuts?
That is terrible.
Is that her name?
Well,
I thought they got divorced.
sorry, Claire. Yeah, they did.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Have you done that at my place?
Now, I'll tell you. I'll tell you one thing.
Oh,
What's
you're
the
a Snoopy
Lipitor?
Snoop, I bet.
I tell you one thing. I was out in California, and my mother's best friend for years when we lived in New York when I was a young kid, her son, which was, I think he was like just a year or so younger than me. And we used to go, they had a house in Connecticut. And I'm not going to give the name out, but when I was in California, this is like 1989, 1990, 91, I lived in Los Angeles. I worked for a radio station out there. And he invited me over to his place, and he was down in Long Beach. And they had a cool apartment. It was like on these canals off of a marina, and he had a really cool apartment. And we were going to lunch. I went down to see him, and I'm down there, and I said, hey, can I go to the bathroom real quick before we roll? He said,
God.
yeah. He tells me where the bathroom is. And I go in there, and there were a bunch of pill bottles just sitting right on the sink. And
Like 20?
No, it's like 3 or 4 pill bottles.
Okay.
And
Well, you can't do anything about that. They're right there.
And I look at the pills, and there was one drug I didn't know what it was. And this is before the internet. All right, this is before
you wrote it down and looked it up later.
I didn't have there was no portable cell phone that I had. This was, I guess, around the time of the giant like Motorola brick phone. Remember that giant?
Yeah.
The size of a cinder block,
The
right?
thing where you had the big antenna sticking out of your car.
I didn't have that. I got my first portable cell. I got like the big StarTAC, but I don't think it was called the StarTAC. Motorola had a big flip phone, which was like 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times the size.
God, tell me the medications. I want to know the other ones.
So there was no internet back then. So I'm like, what? I was looking at some of the pills, and I was trying to remember because I said I'm gonna look it up later. Right?
I'm going to go to the library.
So I can't remember how I did it, but I didn't know what the drug. I didn't recognize any of the drugs, but I remembered one of the drug names. Remembered a couple of them, and one of them was a herpes medication.
Oh my God!
Yes, yeah. So it was like later that day or later that week. I can't remember, but when I was able to like look up one of the drugs that I remembered. It was a herpes medication.
Good.
Oh, did you touch him?
No, I just.
All right, we don't need to shake hands goodbye, do we?
So, hey, what the hell did we do before the internet?
That's awful, man.
What the hell?
Tried to memorize stuff.
What the hell did we do? Unbelievable. All right, so snooping, Fester. If someone invites you, that's another reason why I don't want Fester in my house. He'll be all just going through the place, going through drawers.
Find all your sex toys.
You stop it.
The toys.
Stop it, Froggy. All right, I think we're about done. Oh, if you're invited to somebody's house, another rude thing you can do is bringing an uninvited +1.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so you're invited to some get-together, some gathering, and then you show up with a +1.
There's some couples who roll in threes.
Another one, don't feed their dogs. Don't feed their pets.
Don't pick up their pets or they'll pee on you.
Yeah, Froggy had a negative experience with your dog and picking him up.
Also, disrespecting shoe rules. If they have a take your shoes off at the front door rule.
One of my buddies makes us take off our shoes.
You know what? It's a pretty smart thing, actually.
Oh, don't take off your shoe, guy.
I think
it's embarrassing.
I don't think it's as bad like, when you live in a area like this versus like if you live in a big city like New York and you're walking everywhere and you've got like homeless pee all over the place. It's
so
white feet.
Hey, I'm just being honest.
All right, so
yes,
when I was in high school.
Oh, here we go. Here's another festive story.
I had a friend, and their family was like from the Philippines, right? Yeah. And the grandfather died, and they were having a service at the house. So me and my friend Frank went, and they go there, guys, take your shoes off here. And Frank was wearing like those Sperry topsider all leather shoes.
Yeah, I had those.
And his feet stunk.
Same thing with me. Guess what?
We're at Grandpa's service, and me and Frank are in the back because we're the only non-Filipino people there.
Do you remember my feet in those shoes?
I have a pair of shoes like that now.
Listen, I had to stop wearing those. I used to wear the topsiders, right?
Yeah.
The topsiders.
You wore
they were called like deck shoes. They had like white rubber on the bottom and they were all leather around.
I'll tell you what I wore.
You didn't wear those. You wore leather like school shoes.
Listen, no.
They look like Doc Martens.
No. I never wore those.
To those.
Hang on. I never had those. What I did have, I had those nice leather Timberlands.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
Yes, they were Timberlands. They were really nice leather Timberlands. And it was just odd wearing those with socks. And whatever reason, my foot in that leather, it was potentially the grossest
ever.
Smell. Like gross vinegar.
So it sounds like your friend.
Oh, my friend Frank, he's nothing like me. We walk in to take his shoes off, and Frank's not a big talker. I do all the talking for the group. And Frank's like, no, I'm okay. And he's like, no, it's our custom. You take the shoes off here. And there's a big pile of shoes. And Frank's like, no, I'm good, guys. And the guy's like, yeah, it's right here. It's no big deal. And Frank's like, oh, God.
All right, moving along. Let's get to
the whole service
Frank.
up.
All right, let's get to Tom Brady. You ready?
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Hey, nice Goodfellas sauce mentioned, by the way.
Oh, my Instagram last night?
I like it. I always love it. Hey, don't let this story.
I tell you what. Hang on a sec. So we got to get into Tom Brady, and I want to take phone calls on Tom Brady. But first, all right. So did you see my video last night, Froggy?
Of course. It's the only thing I've liked on your Instagram in weeks.
Fester, the only.
You know I love that scene.
Are you trying to hurt him?
The hell are you saying?
You know I love the scene.
All right. So, Fester, go to my Instagram, and it's the video. It's the third item. It's the video. All right. So,
your sauce actually looks better than in the movies.
oh man,
It looks good.
I made a pomodoro last night. Say pomodoro because marinara is not really an Italian thing. Yeah, marinara is really not. That's kind of an American thing. But a great sauce, a great red sauce. It's a pomodoro, and I made my sauce last night. And I think what Froggy is referring to is,
of course,
I shot a 7-second video. I think it's like 7 seconds. And Fester, you got to, all right, listen to the audio here.
Listen, tell Michael not to let the sauce stick. Keep stirring it. I'm stirring it.
There's probably a way you can put the actual audio in
Hey,
there.
Andrew, bring up that scene. Go to YouTube and bring up the sauce stirring scene from Goodfellas, and let me know when you have it. Just give me a thumbs up when you have it. So, all right, roll that back from the beginning.
Listen, tell Michael not to let the sauce stick. Keep stirring it. I'm stirring it.
Both roles.
Wow, you're really a thespian.
All right, I'm telling you, I made my pomodoro last night. Once you make this sauce, folks, you will never have jarred sauce again. I can't tell you, we have not purchased jarred tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, whatever. We haven't purchased any jarred sauce in, it's got to be 7 years. There's not even a jar of sauce in my house. There's nothing there because I make a big batch of this. I freeze pints in like old Talenti containers, which, by the way, we don't buy Talenti anymore, but we got a bunch of containers because they were great for nails and thumbtacks and paper clips and everything. All right, so we have a whole bunch of old Talenti containers because I make my own ice cream now. So I haven't purchased ice cream in years now. All right, so I take these old Talenti jars and I take my sauce and I put my sauce in those jars. Then you freeze them. And this sauce is even better after it's frozen and you thawed. It's even better. So you know what, folks? I even put the recipe on my Instagram.
Oh, look at that. That's the whole recipe.
But you got to use the San Marzano tomatoes. You got to use real DOP certified. There are so many fake San Marzanos out there. Like Cento, they claim like San Marzano, but they're not certified DOP. They say, "Oh, we got our own certification." Okay,
yours aren't dope.
Yeah. All right. So you want DOP. You want to find a real DOP. Hang on a second. Let me just give out the Rock the Cash Box word here.
If the word is tomato, I'm gonna flip out.
Spot.
Oh.
That's what I have all over my shirt after I eat my tomatoes. I got spots all over my shirt. This hour's word is spot. SPOT. That's spot. Text that nationwide to 45911 before quarter after for a shot at $1,000 cash, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myq105.com. So good luck. Spot. 45911. Spot. SPOT. All right, so where was? Oh, so the marinara, I freeze it. I have a recipe, and the recipe I put on the Instagram post, I triple it. So, folks, I'm telling you right now, this is an MJ hot tip. Before I get into Brady and that debacle yesterday, I want to take phone calls on Brady's mental and physical state. But if you want the most unbelievable marinara, I said marinara, pomodoro. Yeah, don't say marinara. It's pomodoro. So if you want the most unbelievable red sauce, just go to my Instagram. Go to Certified MJ Radio. And while you're there, give me a follow. Certified MJ Radio. If you don't follow me, why not? You get 7-second videos of me stirring the sauce.
What else do you need?
All right. What else? So go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and look at the video of me stirring the sauce. I put because every time I post that video, and I haven't done this in probably well over a year, people always say, recipe, give us the recipe. So the recipe is totally posted, and read my instructions. It talks about all the fraud San Marzano tomatoes out there. I've got a nice little post, and then the recipe, I triple the recipe that's on there. I triple it because then I freeze jars, and we've got sauce for months and months and months. We don't do a lot of pasta, but we probably have pasta twice a month. And I'll whip out one of these jars, or I'll make my homemade cacio e pepe or something.
How expensive are the ingredients of this?
Well, your fingers must smell like super garlic because the recipe calls for 6 large cloves of garlic sliced.
Wow.
No, seriously, sniff my fingers.
No.
I'll smell them. I'll smell them. Good.
And when I get nervous, I put my arms in the garlic.
So I'm just looking at the recipe. The recipe, as MJ posted it, calls for 2 cans of tomatoes, 6 cloves of sliced garlic, then 6 smashed.
But
so
hang
you
on.
triple it. You slice 18 cloves of garlic?
No, tripled it.
Tripled.
So 12 tripled is 36.
Okay, right, 36.
So yes,
half smashed, half sliced.
I sliced thinly 18 cloves of garlic, and I smashed the other 18. Yes, my fingers, seriously.
Yeah, they're going to stink for a while.
I washed my hands extensively. I took a shower this morning, and
I don't know what.
Here, sniff my fingers.
Yeah, no. But why is that? Does it get into like the pores of your?
It's just the oils of the garlic. You gotta wear gloves.
This is disgusting.
This sauce, all it has, the San Marzano tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, basil, and sea salt. That's it. That's all that's in here. And it is incredible. Folks, I'm telling you, make this sauce, follow my instructions, and you will never, ever buy jarred sauce again. All right, and I say you want to cook it for at least like 4 hours, but low heat. Don't burn this. You got the Goodfellas? Don't burn the sauce. So again, my video of me making the Pomodoro sauce last night is, the Goodfellas scene.
Listen, tell Michael not to let the sauce stick. Keep stirring it. I'm stirring it.
All right, so here's the scene from Goodfellas before we can move on to Tom Brady. Andrew, roll it.
Hello?
Hey, it's me. You ready?
Yeah.
Listen, tell Michael not to let the sauce stick. Keep stirring it.
Henry says don't let the sauce stick.
I'm stirring it. Listen, you know what to do?
Yeah.
Don't yeah me, Lois.
Don't yeah me.
Don't yeah me, Lois.
So, MJ, do you know
what's going on with all the women in my life? They drive me crazy.
You don't even know this.
Yeah, what?
But you have a new favorite football player. Plays for the New York Jets. His name is Sauce.
Are you serious?
I think it's his nickname, but
really?
Yeah, he goes by Sauce.
Anyway, folks, before I move on to Tom Brady, go ahead, go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. I've got 3 pictures of the sauce last night. I got 3, all right, and a video. So take a look, Certified MJ Radio on Instagram, and my recipe's on there. Enjoy, folks. You'll never buy a jar of sauce again. Make enough, you put it in jars, you freeze it, you thaw it, you heat it up. It's even better after you freeze it and you thaw it, and then, toss it with your favorite pasta. I'm telling you right now. Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. All right, on to Tom Brady. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady, Roxanne?
Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, I'm trying to have some compassion for people going through stuff. He's 45 years old. He's got a lot of bleep going on. So, yeah, I feel bad for him.
I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
But not bad where I'm going to lose sleep because he's got so much money.
I mean, let's go down the list of people I really don't feel bad for under almost any circumstances. Number 1, Tom Brady. Okay, I don't feel. Okay, listen, everybody has tough times.
I want to go to phones. Let's fire up the phones here. We haven't done phones yet today. 800-990-1047. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady or not at all that he just needs to get his crap together? Maybe not go to Rub and Tug's wedding on Friday night, days before a Buccaneer Sunday football game. That's a whole different story.
Dude, I tell you, I have a buddy named Rub and Tug. He has a party.
Right.
I'm going.
All right, so hold on. Well, he went.
That's a good party.
He went to Robert Kraft's wedding on Friday night in Lower Manhattan. You got a game on Sunday.
Do you take Robert Kraft?
Robert Kraft.
All right, hold on. I mean, big deal. I mean, everybody does other things besides work.
All right, let's go to phones. Let me just give out the number. Hold on another thought, Roxanne. Let me give out the number. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady? He's clearly frustrated. He was cursing at his offensive line. We have that audio. And that ran on Fox. It was low, but Tom Brady used 2 F-bombs while they showed him sideline chewing his offensive line a new one.
And they deserved it. Right. They were terrible.
So, absolutely. So my question is, what are your thoughts on Tom Brady? Obviously, there's the Gisele Bündchen divorce distraction. There's a lot going on. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady? or any other observation that you have. 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. Fire up our Tom Brady therapy lines. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. So the Buccaneers, they lose to, the Steelers. The Steelers last week had their butts handed to them by the Bills. Last week was 38-3. The Steelers couldn't even score a touchdown last week. And did you see how the Steelers were making the Bucs look like an expansion team?
Yeah.
What was going? How many times did we screw up the red zone yesterday?
So many,
3-4
times, man.
Come on,
Sports.
Give me a break.
Froggy, do you even know what the red zone is? Froggy's not a football fan.
All right, so listen, I'm not a big football nut either. I watch NFL on Sunday, but the Bucs 20-18 loss. They had the opportunity, that 2-point conversion could have tied the game up, but for the Steelers to beat Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Which Bucs player said last week that they got bored during the Falcons game and that's why they kind of let up a little bit?
Is it time for Todd Bowles to be replaced?
No. No, not yet.
Hold
it's too
on.
early for that.
Listen.
Hold on. Would we be in the same place if Bruce Arians, would we be in the same spot right now if he was still the head coach?
The Steelers, with 2 minutes left, had 3rd and 16. An impossible get, and they got it.
They got it.
Sucked. And Todd Bowles didn't make any
But they had
blocks.
a lot of those. They had a lot of those third down plays.
Todd could have got in there and helped.
Todd Bowles probably would have done better than the actual players. He looks like he's in better shape than half the team.
All I know is that Tom Brady was screaming at his sideline offensive line. Do we have the audio on that? All right, here, listen to this. We had to do 2 bleeps. This was on Fox yesterday. This is the F-bomb on Fox. That should be.
This is Tom Brady cursing his head off on Fox.
And now it's time for the F-bomb halftime report on Fox.
Isn't that where he's going after he retires anyway?
Tom, you're going to be working there next year.
Right.
You may want to ease up.
All right, here it is. Listen.
For the Steelers are out this afternoon.
That's what Mike Tomlin said. He said, pressure doesn't sack Tom Brady. You have to get there with 4. And now he is fired up to his offense on the sideline.
I hear that. He's yelling at them like, you're better than this. You're effing better than this. That's one of the beeps.
He was yelling words of encouragement. He was like, you are so much better than what you're playing. You are so much. He wasn't like, you guys suck. You're getting my ass killed out there. He's like, you are so much better. Just step up to what you can do.
That wouldn't really motivate me. That would irritate
but then
me.
Tom Brady is at Robert Kraft, his former owner with the Patriots. Tom Brady was at Robert Kraft's wedding. The dude is 81 years old and married a 47-year-old, almost half his age. Yeah, she's there for love.
Hey.
All right,
so the wedding was Friday. Is that correct?
It was Friday in Lower Manhattan. I don't know if it was Cipriano or wherever the hell it was, but Robert Kraft invited Tom Brady. He was there. So a Friday night, Tom flies up to New York
by himself.
Yeah. Oh, he went solo.
Giselle.
There's no Giselle.
Well, let me tell you. Okay, so the teams typically fly on Friday when they're playing an away game. Typically, the teams will leave Friday and come back, obviously, after the game on Sunday.
No, Bucs fly out typically on Saturday.
Well,
Saturday afternoon. For a Sunday game, they'll fly out on Saturday.
So that means Tom would have flown up there on his own and met the team.
I think he took a Spirit flight.
Okay.
Probably so. Yeah. Man, they nickeled and dimed.
They really did.
They really nickeled and dimed.
I just want to check my shoulder pads.
But we're going to phones in a second. If you're on hold, hang on. I'm going to phones in 10 seconds. But Robert Kraft, at his wedding, Tom Brady was there. Elton John showed up. Ed Sheeran performed.
How could he miss this?
John Bon Jovi was there. Al Michaels did a video introduction.
Do you know a place in Lower Manhattan called Hall de Lumières? Lumières?
Let me see the name.
Hall de Lumières?
Hall de Luminaires.
Hall de Luminaire. I don't know.
That's where it was. A pretty swanky place.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just say this, that so he missed time being with his teammates on the plane. They probably talk a little football then. I don't know. And then he missed meetings Friday nights if they have depending upon, or Friday afternoon,
The fact
depending
is,
upon what.
but it makes things even worse that you
That's
got
what I'm
your
saying.
butts kicked by the Steelers and you're at a wedding on Friday night.
And he may feel like, I know this, I can do this with my eyes closed, but how about the guys he needs to work with in those meetings? They maybe missed out on something.
None of these Buccaneer losses are Tom's fault. None of them. I mean,
he's talking about.
None
Of course
them
they are.
None of them are Tom's fault. He's the quarterback, but the defense.
He's the
sucks.
man.
The offensive line stinks.
It all falls on him.
You know what's crazy? I mean, didn't we hear rumors that Tom is the one who wanted Bruce out and Todd Bowles in? So he's the one who wanted that the most because he thought that they could be more creative with the offense. And,
let's go to phones. So my question is for our listeners. Do you feel bad for Tom Brady? Because he is frustrated. Hey, Mary's in Newport Richie. Hey, Mary, you're on the MJ Morning Show. He's making a fortune. Well, how much is he making with the Bucs? It's like some crazy number. Mary, MJ Morning Show, you're on. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning, Mary.
I'm a Bucs fan, win or lose, but right now I am not a happy Bucs. And he should not have gone to the wedding. He's not connecting with his players, and we should not have lost to the Squealers.
To the Squealers.
Squealers.
I mean, they're...
I have disliked this.
Hold on, your phone is in and out in Newport Richie this morning. Go ahead, say that again.
I have disliked the Steelers since the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry Bradshaw is great.
Yeah. Mary, thanks for the call. Dave is in Tampa. Dave, MJ Morning Show. Hi, let's Monday morning quarterback this deal. I mean, literally. Hey, Dave, you're on. Go.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
First thing, I don't feel bad for Tom Brady. I think he looks like he's regretting his decision at this point, to be honest with you.
You know, and that's a good point. You think now he's saying, maybe I should have not come back. Maybe I'd still be with Giselle. And
yeah. I mean, if you read between the lines this morning, a couple players, Wirfs and Godwin, are saying, they need to prepare better. Well, he wasn't there to prepare. I mean, the timing was off yesterday. He was throwing low. He looked like Tom Brady, that's for sure.
He was at a wedding on Friday night before a Steelers. You know what? I tell you what happened. Tom Brady said, listen, the Steelers are awful. I can pretty much just show up 10 minutes before the game on Sunday up in Pittsburgh, and we're going to win this thing. You know what? They went in too cocky and too overconfident. And Tom Brady, that's why he went to that wedding. Yeah, it's the Steelers. If maybe he were playing the Chiefs, maybe he would not have gone to the wedding. But Steelers, and I think maybe that was his mentality. So he went to Robert Kraft's wedding.
I think his teammates are starting to get annoyed by this special treatment too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What do you think? He went to the wedding and got hammered? He's the biggest bore on earth. He didn't do anything.
I never said he got hammered.
He had water and went home.
But he was not focused, probably distracted.
If any player in the history of the sport can write his own ticket, it's that guy.
He had bone broth at the wedding, by the
What
way.
was the deal with Roxanne and Derek Jeter, by the way? I'm trying to figure that one out.
Huh?
What was the deal with Roxanne and Derek Jeter?
They're friends.
It's my fiance grew up with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah, so Roxanne's fiance of the last 10 years is Dig Dug, and Dig Dug grew up with Derek Jeter.
He's from
And Doug.
And Derek.
And Derek.
We need a new
And Doug.
So Roxanne's fiance and Doug. Oh, no, and Jeter. I'm sorry. Roxanne's fiance. Oh no, Derek Jeter and Doug. That's what we do.
And Doug. And Doug.
Hey Dave, thanks for the call, buddy. Let me grab Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn in Tampa. Hello, Marilyn. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
How you doing? I don't feel sorry for Tom Brady. He made a commitment, whether he regrets coming back or not. He made a commitment to that team, and he should be with that team. Going to the wedding, that should have never happened.
Should not have gone to Robert Kraft's wedding on Friday night in Manhattan.
Yeah, and I disagree with what Fester said, that it's not Tom Brady's fault. You are part of a team. You're only as strong as your weakest link. You play as a team. You practice as a team. You everything as a team. So, yeah, it's Tom Brady's fault.
He's the weakest link.
He's the quarterback.
He didn't catch any balls. Tom did a really bad job catching. He did a really bad job blocking the offense.
But his passing was off as well. All right, let's grab a few more calls, and I got to move on. How
Football
about
analysis is so bad. His passing was way off.
We are the worst sports show in the world.
Listen, we're not a sports show.
Hey, talk with a gravelly voice and ask the callers what their hot take is.
I'm a
Chandra
sports.
at Pinellas Park, what's your hot take?
Who's that?
Well, the next caller.
Okay.
I said that last week.
Hey, Marilyn, thanks for the call. Hey, Chandra in Pinellas Park. Hey, Chandra, you're on the MJ Morning Show, Q105. Hello. Chandra, are you there?
Try like a
Yes,
sport.
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Chandra, go ahead.
So I'm originally from Maine, and I moved down here in '93, and I've always followed the Patriots. And then when he left there, I followed him here, and I was happy to have a local team. But he has sucked. He's just been terrible. I think that he should have retired last year and just left on a good note.
Do you think that the whole Giselle thing is all up in his head and that's messing him up as well?
It could be, but none of us really know what really happened.
Yeah.
But I think he's a big baby anymore. I think he wants everybody to bow down to him, and he's just not a team player anymore. He used to be a really good team player, but I don't see it.
Chandra, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Have a great day. All right, one more call, then I'm going to...
I know what he's doing.
What?
He's quiet quitting.
Oh, is that what he is? There you go. Tom Brady, quiet quitting. Hey, last call on this, and we're going to move on. GW in Largo. Hey, yeah, GW.
Yeah, can you hear me coming through okay?
Let me check.
We hear you, Mr. Washington.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you, GW. Go ahead.
Hey, listen, I would also like Wilder to comment on this afterwards. I can't believe nobody... you guys, if Michelle left you, MJ, how would you feel? This guy's in love with this woman, man. That's the main problem here. Nobody's seeing it. Other than the fact we could use better pass defense, but that's all I got to say about that.
All right, so you think the driving force for Tom Brady not performing very well this season is the whole Giselle thing is all just, it jacked his brain?
The man loves her as far as I'm concerned. I know what would happen if I lost mine.
All right.
And there's no way to get totally right.
All right. Hey, GW, can you hear me? Am I coming in okay?
A little louder, please.
All right, goodbye. See you later.
He wanted my opinion on that. Yeah, I mean, that would be really, really...
What do you call you, Wildy Wilder? No, it's Roxanne Wilder.
Roxanne Wilder.
And Doug. Go ahead.
That would be very... I mean, I'm sure he's a human with emotions, and he's sad that they have problems, and also they have to unwind all their they're building a house together. A lot of logistics.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Who's going to keep that house down on Billionaires Row in Miami or whatever that's called?
Yeah, call the contractor, tell them to keep the deposit for now, but we're just going to hold off on building that house.
They've already started building the house.
Just stop
they've already,
right now. Just stop
They've
right
already,
now.
what, keep it unfinished?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we don't know how this whole thing's going to work out.
Gotcha. Anyway, I don't think he should have gone to Robert Kraft's wedding. And it must be true love. 81-year-old Robert Kraft with a 47-year-old blonde hottie.
I love you, baby.
That's true love right there.
Dude, I would marry Robert Kraft.
You know, I saw Robert Kraft. I saw an image of him because they were talking about the wedding, and I saw an image of him over the weekend, and it was pretty fresh video. His teeth are as brown as Tootsie Rolls. I mean...
all his money can't fix that?
I mean, I'm serious.
Not a big fan of dentists.
They're all
Mr. Kraft?
gnarled and brown, and it's like, my God, and she's kissing that? She's 47.
Oh, she's licking them.
Tell you what, there must not be a prenup. That's all I'm saying.
I would lick Robert Kraft's armpit.
Will you stop
it?
Is he from the cheese? Is he the cheese Kraft guy?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any relation.
That's a good question.
I don't think so. I think...
Or is he he's got Tootsie Roll teeth?
No, he's the Tootsie Roll Empire.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. We've talked about this in the past. What?
Don't type in Robert Kraft teeth into Google and then hit images. Just don't do that. I'm sorry.
That's an old picture. They're
not bad.
No, they're much browner than that. I'm telling you. I just saw a video of him over the weekend.
It's gotten worse over the years.
Oh yeah, his teeth are they're rough, and then there's an image of him kissing that bride.
Good for her.
And come on,
She got a little residue on her lip.
she might have gargled with gasoline first or something. I don't know. We've talked about this in the past. What do? You're walking on the beach, and you find just bags of cocaine that washed up.
First, I thank Jesus. Because
square grouper, man.
I'm rich.
What do you mean?
There's people that could go out on boats to deep sea fishing and find big bales of weed and coke.
Float.
There's a documentary about it.
How much got washed up? First,
$150,000 worth.
All right.
150 grand of cocaine. So this Good Samaritan here in Florida, the bags of cocaine washed up on the beach in Daytona, and he called authorities. According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the individual called 911, reported the washed up cocaine, and handed it right over to authorities. But there are some people that would say, oh, my God, this. But can you imagine somebody that has no relation to, or you've never been part of, like, drug usage or the drug trade? You've never been, like, a dealer.
And then you're a kingpin all
Yeah,
of a
that would
sudden.
make for a great sitcom.
Yeah, right?
And then you find bales of cocaine or bales of drugs worth a lot of money. There are people that are probably thinking, oh, my God, if I move this stuff, I can make a fortune.
No overhead.
Everybody just think in their head, don't say it out loud, the friend that they would call if they were going to go that route. Does anybody have any? You could call all your guys, MJ, who you do your little.
I don't know anybody.
Nobody does coke.
If I find bags of cocaine on the beach here in Florida that have washed up, some kind of a sea drop, an airplane drops the bales for a boat to be.
They pitch it off a boat and it washes ashore.
Guys, a lot of this, typically, it's an airplane drops the stuff and a boat's supposed to meet it and pick it up. All right. Or, they've got those drug subs. Some of I don't know if they still have them, but I think the.
How can a box file of a submarine?
MJ,
the screen door?
You would be my call.
What do you mean I'm your call?
I'm like over like on the other coast. Like I'm over like something in the Atlantic just comes washing up on Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
And I have this 200 pounds of cocaine. I mean, I need infrastructure.
You're gonna call me?
You're probably my first call.
I'm gonna tell you to call 911. I'm gonna tell you. 911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, I found 200 pounds of cocaine on the beach, and my friend MJ won't help me move it.
The Daytona story, it was 11 pounds.
Okay.
And I got to be honest, I thought 11 pounds of cocaine would be a lot more than $150,000, but I guess what? Coke is kind of cheap right now.
That sounds like a lot.
Stocks are down. I don't know.
Where can you put your money?
MJ.
No, if you call me, I'm going to tell you to call 911. And who said, who would I call? I don't know anybody. Who said that I
Well, just your friend group that always talks about marijuana.
There's no one in my friend group. So my high school pals, who none of them live here, 2 live in Virginia, 1 lives out in Arizona, 1 lives up in Maine, and my entire high school friend group, our best friends, we've kind of reunited over the last, year plus. We have a whole text group going. We text, numerous times a week.
It's cute.
And all of my friends, they all smoke pot.
Right.
Every single, and they're successful.
So maybe one of those 5 friends, maybe it's been a gateway.
I don't think
it's not a gateway, Roxanne.
Yeah, that's the line that it's not.
Come on, please.
Anyway, bottom line is, I know no one to call if I found coke on the beach, Roxanne and Fester. Whoever brought that up.
I can't believe Fester doesn't know a guy.
Anyway, 11 pounds of coke, street value over $150,000. Border Patrol seized the drugs. The guy did the right thing. Don't try to grab the stuff and then try to move it, because then you could end up going to prison for years.
Not if you get rid of it in one drop, one load.
Maybe you find like a wholesaler or something.
Yeah.
Guys, you call the police. You don't entertain try to sell the stuff.
All right, so if I'd get a year in jail for it, I don't think 150 grand is the price.
No.
I mean, I have
$1 million.
I mean, there's a price I would serve a year in jail for.
$500,000?
Oh boy, that's close.
Is that borderline?
What?
So $1 million?
Yeah, I'd probably serve a year in jail for $1 million.
Yes.
Don't they usually confiscate that money?
Yeah, they confiscate.
No, dude, you lost it all in Vegas, dude. Listen, you gotta have alibis. No, yeah, I mean, $1 million, I'd serve a year in jail. You wouldn't? Froggy, you wouldn't serve a year in county jail for $1 million.
No. Sorry.
I would not do it.
Jail sounds horrible.
Absolutely not.
I like my bed too much.
A couple of quickies here.
Oh,
yes.
On Friday,
Yep.
I took my son out to see the largest pumpkin in the state of Florida.
Oh, geez, where's that?
It's at Bears Groves in Lutz.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really a sad-looking pumpkin because those big pumpkins don't, look like real pumpkins.
Yeah.
It just looks like big orange blobs.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of drugs, I saw that drug mules were sticking liquid meth in pumpkins coming in from Mexico.
I saw that story.
And
I think it's in my pile here somewhere.
I was like, what? They put them in condoms.
Yeah. It was like $400,000 worth of liquid meth that were in condoms, and they jammed the condoms with liquid meth inside the pumpkins coming in from Mexico. And didn't they bring them up through like Texas somewhere?
Texas border agents or U.S. Customs and Border Protection, they found, was it 44 pounds of liquid meth. And that's only
no better way.
44 pounds of liquid meth is only $400,000. That's still not enough to serve a year in jail.
How about this? I'm shifting gears here, but how about this? The Mega Millions jackpot was won. It was $494 million. Was this Friday night's drawing?
I saw the billboard last week, and I'm like, it's getting up there.
Yeah, it was Friday night's drawing, and the jackpot for Mega Millions was $494 million. 2 winners. One of the winners was in Fort Myers. Isn't that interesting that after the hurricane and all the damage in Fort Myers, especially Fort Myers Beach and surrounding areas and the flooding and just buildings erased, just kind of interesting that a winning ticket was sold at a 7-Eleven in Fort Myers. Tell you what, 7-Eleven had it going on because 2 tickets were sold. One of the winning tickets for $494 million. Of course, it's going to be split. So it's going to be, $494 divided by 2.
Yeah, $240 million?
Yeah, it's going to be 245?
247?
240, whatever, 47 million. Is that it? So each one. And in Fort Myers, it was sold at a 7-Eleven, and the winning ticket out in California was also sold at a 7-Eleven. How about that?
If you own that 7-Eleven, do you get is there any benefit of having it come out of your store?
Depends on the state. Yes, it depends
Really?
on the state lottery in your particular state on how much they give the seller who sold the ticket. It totally varies.
But it's only like a few $1,000s in Florida. It's not like that guy gets rich too.
Some states are better than others. All right, Fester, you sent me a story that I already had.
Okay.
Do you know which story you sent me that I was going to talk to you about?
I have to look at my prep from last night. I don't remember off the top of my head.
All right, let me. If you're watching MJTV, then you'll be able to see. I'm going to do a face. I'm going to do a mime. All right. So Fester, look at me. Look at me.
Well, this is good for radio.
Oh, still? I just did like an.
Oh yeah. Okay. As soon as I okay, the face.
Puffer fish. Puffer fish.
Okay. So this lady, I mean, I don't know how I feel. I'm really torn on this because I'm obviously on one side of the fence.
Now you know what story I'm talking about. Yep.
All right. I've never been in the situation where there's been 2 of us. Okay?
Yep.
I mean, for this particular threesome, I've never been in the situation where there's 2 of us.
Here's the story. Airplane. The typical single aisle jet is 3 and 3. So, a Boeing 737, an Airbus 320, the most common commercial jets that are used around the world, you typically have 3 and 3. So you've got the aisle, the middle, and the window seat, and then the same thing on the other side of the aisle. This story is about a woman who complained about being wedged between 2 very overweight fellow passengers. So overweight, large and in charge passenger number 1 was in the window seat. Overweight passenger number 2 was in the aisle, and she was stuck in the middle. And apparently there was all kinds of mass bleed over from both these passengers across like the armrests into her space. And she was like wedged like a doorstop, apparently.
See, everybody's expecting when you sit next to a really fat person for it to be a belly issue. The worst part is the underarm fat.
Side flankage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side flankage.
How big were they? Like the McGuire twins on the motorcycles? Like that fat?
They're pretty large people.
All right, so
probably my size.
A woman claimed that she was on a plane, was on an American Airlines flight. So American Airlines, and claimed, and even went to Twitter. And this woman, Sydney Watson, and she's a doctor apparently. This Dr. Sydney Watson claims that they were on an American Airlines flight and tweeted out, "If you need a seatbelt extender, you are too fat to be on a plane."
Oh,
well, that's not
right.
Yeah, that's too harsh.
That is what this Sydney Watson, this is a woman, Sydney. It's a woman, female Sydney, and said, quote, on Twitter, "If you need a seatbelt extender, you are too fat to be on a plane." Fester, go.
My seatbelt extender, first of all, is in the office right now because I carry it in my backpack at all times.
Fester has his own.
I do. I have my own seatbelt.
Well, you didn't buy it. You stole it.
I stole it on a American flight I was on last year. But they're pretty universal, and they're all FAA approved. But
is it the AmSafe, or what is the name of
I
the?
don't know. I can go get it.
No, that's
it's
okay.
literally in
That's
the
all right.
office.
How much is it? How far does it extend?
It's like 3 feet.
Is the extender tight on you, or it's fine?
Oh, the extender. I miss airport seatbelts by like 4 inches.
Are there people that need 2 extenders ever, you think?
No, that would be.
Can you imagine?
Hold on. Let me go get it.
can't
Let me show you
leave
how
their
big it is.
house.
It'll take me 20 seconds. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Can't run to
Run.
the office and. All right,
Run,
folks.
run.
If you're on MJTV, Fester just ran.
I could feel him running.
He's going to be all sweaty and out of breath when he comes back. It's going to be like he just ran a 5K. All right, so Fester's coming back.
I can't believe he uses it. I thought that was a joke.
No, he has a seatbelt
He's got to
extender.
lose weight, dude.
So this doctor shames heavy people and says if you need a seatbelt extender, you're too fat to be on a plane.
If I was like that,
All right, Fester's back.
I'm back.
that was fast, Fester.
Are you huffing and puffing?
You almost.
All right.
Almost fell off his chair.
All right, here's the seatbelt extender.
All right.
Wow, look at that.
There you go. I carry it in my backpack at all times.
It is like maroon or mauve or whatever color this is.
You're going to get a blue one?
That's the color that I didn't ask.
Oh, it is. It's an AmSafe.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
is.
Well, there
Yep.
you go.
Damn fat.
And to utilize your seatbelts, folks, you take this end and put it into the buckle. All right. And then to open it, just lift the handle. All right. Why do they still tell us how to operate the freaking seatbelt on the airplane?
For first-time flyers.
You know what? Guess what? If you don't know how to operate the seatbelt, you shouldn't be on a plane. How about that?
That's a pretty good barometer for if you're
right there.
able to fly.
Yeah. So Fester's brought me the seatbelt extender, and you ripped this off of an American Airlines flight?
So I was on an American Airlines flight, and I asked them for the extender when I got on the plane, and she said, "Yeah, after I do my demonstration." And that's the one she
This
used.
is the demo?
Yeah.
So the next flight, she's looking for a demo, and you stole it.
She's like, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?"
Oh, I gave it to that fat guy.
A big fat guy.
Where were you flying from? Where to where?
I think I was flying to Philadelphia or somewhere.
Tampa, Philly?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway,
Anyway,
ever going to catch your breath?
no, it's gonna take me a couple more seconds.
Fester's got flop sweat, and you can't breathe right now.
All right,
You need an asthma inhaler?
you got one?
No.
Oh,
You need a pump? Get
All
you a
right.
pump?
So listen, I mean, you're gonna book a flight. I mean, sitting between 2 really fat people, that's hard.
That's bad luck.
Yeah, I think you can just like snuggle up to them if you're in there. They'll prop you up. It's almost like you can take a nap and you're held up by both sides of it.
Well, there's more to the story. The American Airlines passenger wedged between the 2 obese people, as they put it, is asking for reparations from American
I
Airlines.
saw that.
Yeah. An American passenger is asking the company for reparations after tweeting that she was wedged between 2 obese people on a 3-hour flight. Sydney Watson, who describes herself as an Australian-American political commentator, posted on Twitter stating that she was literally wedged between 2 obese people on my flight. She wrote, "This is absolutely not acceptable or okay. If fat people want to be fat, fine. But it is something else entirely when I'm stuck between you with your arm rolls on my body for 3 hours." That's what she wrote. And then the tweet about if you need a seatbelt extender, you're too fat to be on a plane. Then she also wrote, man, she's on a rip here. buy 2 seats or don't fly? Watson said that the flight attendant on the plane has, quote, asked me 4 times if I need anything, and I gave her the "this is effed pity" expression.
She's just squeezed in between. Are you okay, man?
So this Dr. Sydney Watson, I love her. I mean, she's holding nothing back. She's great.
According to, and you're a heavy guy, according to Watson, she asked a brother to one of the women who was sitting next to her if he'd like to swap seats. He says, no, that's okay.
No, I'm good.
So the relative of one of the heavy passengers didn't even want to take that seat.
So the 2 heavy passengers weren't related? They were just both?
It might have been a family of fat people.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
You ever see like a whole family and they're all the same shape?
But if they're a family, why not say, hey, can I get the outside seat?
Kids look like Pugsley from the Addams Family. You know?
It's a glandular problem.
Hold on, we got some audio from the flight of her trying to get out to use the restroom. Hang on, she's almost there. She's trying to get out. Okay, she's out.
Could you imagine? Oof.
But I mean, it's partly the airline's fault for not making an inclusive seat for all people.
Do you know that there are also there's chatter and there are proposals to make airline seats even smaller?
No.
Seriously, yeah.
Okay, have they seen the population? We're getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me see if there's any more to the story. But this lady just lets it rip. I don't care if this is mean. My entire body is currently being touched against my wishes. I can't even put the armrest down on either side because there's no effing room. I'm sick of acting like fatness to this extent is normal. Let me assure you, it is not.
So what's the policy when someone has to buy 2 seats? Do airlines have different policies? Because sometimes people are forced to buy 2 seats.
I mean, they're looking to bump people on flights because they're overpacked. And here I am, Mr. Fatty Boombalatti with my 2 seats.
After calling, she calls out American Airlines, and then American Airlines responded, and they tweeted, our passengers come in all different sizes and shapes. We're sorry you were uncomfortable on your flight.
Yeah. Their seats only come in one size and one shape.
And then she tweeted out, holy bleep, of the response from American Airlines. And then she writes, this is really their official reply to me being sandwiched between 2 obese human beings. So I'm expected to have only a quarter of a seat when I fly, ? I just experienced getting sweat on, touched without my consent, smacked in the face, and subjected to hours of no personal space. And your response is essentially too bad? Is that what I'm getting here?
Sounds like it.
At one point during the flight, Watson said that she elected to close my tray table and hold my cup of tea between my teeth because it's jabbing her belly and can't get it down properly.
What?
Yeah, so she was so fat that the middle tray table couldn't come down because he was stabbing her.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So, I did confirm those 2 people knew each other.
Which 2 people?
The 2.
Oh, the 2 ends? The 2 bookends?
Yeah. So,
and she's wedged in between the 2
right,
bookends.
So that's kind of mean, I guess, because they could have, they could have done middle and window, and then she would have had some breathing room.
Give her the aisle so she can at least lean off to the side.
They did it on purpose.
So you give her the window and you smash her head against the glass and just pop her like a zit.
Right. So she's got to be.
But she's saying that they were so big that all their bleed over was just like touching her, and it was just like wedging her in.
Yeah, I've sat by people like that. I mean,
well, Fester's a big guy. I gotta be honest.
I've flown right next to Fester.
I am like a half a pound away from being too big to be on planes. I fit in the seat. The seatbelt almost buckles every time. I can get my tray table down, and I'm not blobbing over.
And this Dr. Watson says regarding all the blowback, the pushback, the media coverage, she says, I stand, quote, I stand by everything I said. And then she asked American Airlines for reparations.
So 6 hours ago, Dr. Sydney Watson sent out possibly the best tweet I've ever seen describing her take on just life.
Dr. Sydney Watson said, this is 6 hours ago. So this is what, 4 o'clock this morning, right?
Earlier than that.
I'm sorry, 2 o'clock this morning, 2:45 this morning, whatever. She tweeted out, I don't sugarcoat bleep. I'm not Willy Wonka.
That's great. That's great.
She's
Good for her. He's one of the.
Click on her picture.
That guy's a wrestler.
Hang on, I got it. Hold on a minute. Let me.
She is one sassy Aussie.
Yeah, hang on. I'm clicking on her. I'm clicking on her profile. Oh,
Yeah.
she's attractive.
She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she's thin and she's very attractive.
Yeah.
Now look at her. Yeah, she's. If
That's
her,
what was stuck in between us.
if that's her real profile picture, she's very attractive.
She wants to sit next to a fat guy.
And she has that accent.
Dr. Sydney Watson.
And a doctor.
Doctor.
Well, I don't know what she's the doctor of.
Crikey.
Was she like an American lit doctor? Big deal. Not a real doctor.
I have no
Doesn't
idea
matter.
where her deal is. Anyway, so Fester sent me that story last night. I saw it independently, and when I saw that Fester sent me that link last night, I'm like, of course Fester sent me that story last night. All right, when we get back, this ends the long hour and 20 minutes of the MJ Morning Show uninterrupted. We've got another like half-hour chunk coming up next. We got to talk about the 35-year-old virgin, a woman. Guess what happens to her? 35-year-old woman, a virgin, and when she goes on dates or if she gets ready to go on a date or is making plans to go on a date, what happens? And also, got to talk about 23andMe. You know what that is?
I know it. Yeah, the genealogy
Or,
thing.
or maybe not. All right, hold on.
Oh.
Hang on. All next, plus a whole lot more. Don't move. We're back in minutes on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. 6:05, MJ here with Fester and Roxanne and Froggy, who I don't know where the hell he went, but he's around here somewhere. The 35-year-old virgin, it is a woman. It's not the 40-year-old, Kelly Clarkson virgin.
Steve Carell version.
Yeah. This is a 35-year-old woman. Men always do this when she tells them that she's a 35-year-old virgin.
I got to tell you, I haven't been in the dating world for a while, but I don't know if that's a real selling point on anything.
Well, apparently it's not, because she claims that when she tells guys that she's a 35-year-old virgin and that she has her beliefs, her boundaries, and she wants to wait until marriage to have sex, or she's got these strict views on the way she handles and believes in intimacy. She says that the guys, they scram, they split. They're like, like, yeah.
Well, there's got to be the one out there that's going to love that, and that's her guy.
All right, so that's like a selling point if you're like 21 or 25.
Sonali Chandra is her name, and she's described as a comedian and a dancer from New Jersey. And she says that the dating scene is very, very tough for her. She says, I have only dated 9 men in 35 years, including 3 serious relationships. And all 9 men were total jerks when they found out about my virginity. Yeah, she did an interview with the Daily Star. She says that she was raised in a strict household by her Indian-born parents. And she says that that's had a, quote, profound impact on how she dates.
Well, define being jerks. Did they ghost her, or what do they say?
That's one of the terms she uses.
Okay.
That they ghost her. That as soon as she talks about her being a virgin and that, you know, she's an attractive woman.
Sure.
Very attractive. She's 35, looks probably younger than 30. She looks probably 29, 28. Attractive woman, good shape. And she says the minute she tells guys, hey, I'm a 35-year-old virgin and I'm not putting out and, you know, I'm waiting until I get married, the guys, they ghost her. They go, zoink, Scoob, okay. Look, a ghost.
Who's the jerk here? Who's the jerk? I mean, she's coming out.
I can't wait. Fester's going to impart some top-notch philosophy on us.
You're in your mid-30s. You're dating somebody. You would probably prefer to be in a relationship with some degree of intimacy. And she's like, oh, yeah, I don't do that. Okay, thanks. Enjoy your nachos. I'll pick up the tab and have a nice life. I mean, what else? I mean, if you... I totally understand.
What if she's framing it like, yeah, I don't do that, and it's not going to happen in the next 5 years?
Okay.
Then even more reason to,
I would probably want to have a more active relationship in the present than during the middle of the next president's administration.
Anyway, should we go to the virgin line, see the oldest virgin? What are you doing?
Froggy, are you a radio virgin?
Gosh, I took off my mic.
Are you calling?
I got a peanut stuck in my throat.
Well, guess what? You turning your mic off, it had no effect.
Wow.
It was like your mic was totally on as you coughed and hacked on a peanut.
Yeah, I'll put peanuts in your throat during the virgin story. Please, Froggy.
Do you like nuts?
Froggy loves nuts in his throat.
These some virgin surgeons on the line.
Should we go? What?
No, a virgin surgeon.
Should we go to phones?
Yeah.
She's 35. If she's 22 and she's like, listen,
that's an old virgin, 35.
I mean,
she's probably never going to get married.
I mean, she's 35. I'm sure she's going to meet somebody someday, but
I think you're the love of my life because I never want to have sex either.
Have you guys ever heard of like virgins who they're virgins, but they've like done everything else you could?
Hold on. What do you?
What?
Where did that come from?
I just remember this couple when I was in my 20s.
Oh my God, Roxanne, is it? It's 9 o'clock almost.
I'm just saying this tastefully. It's they really.
This is not like 3 a.m. safe harbor, okay?
She's right. There are people who define virginity by one
thing.
One thing.
All right, so Roxanne, what are you saying? And make it clean for broadcast.
Yes, no, this is very clean. I just knew a couple, and they really took pride in the fact that they were. I couldn't remember if they were engaged or they were gonna get married, but they weren't married yet, and so they had not done that, but they did everything else and then some. And I'm like, really? Do you need to?
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Can you write things down?
Wait a minute. Did they?
So what's everything else and then some? But not
what's
that.
The then some.
I mean,
Hold on.
that's
right.
No, MJ, I'm not writing.
If they're doing then some and not having sex, that's crazy.
Hold on. I threw you a Post-it pad. Write a couple of things down. If she's embarrassed, don't look over her shoulder.
She can make.
Right.
I mean, I'm going back in time now. I'm trying to remember. I just all I remember.
Oh,
about
suddenly
that-
you have amnesia. Okay, now you bring this up, and now you have amnesia.
I think I know what she means.
Yeah, I think we all do.
All right, whatever. All right. So who's this couple?
Dennis and Denise.
Oh yeah, Dennis. Dennis.
No, the crazy thing is that's really their name.
Yeah, BS. No, it's not. You're lying. It's Dennis and Denise.
I swear.
No, you
Michael and Michelle.
I don't like couples that their names kind of work together.
Mm-hmm.
They're not together anymore.
What about Pat and Pat? They're not together anymore.
No.
Hand me my Post-it back there.
Okay.
I wonder
Don't-
why.
Don't steal my Post-its.
I mean, she's the person you're talking about,
Can you
MJ.
reach that?
I'm sure she's a lovely person. She seems like she has a great personality. But if I'm looking for a couple of things in the relationship, one of which would be some degree of intimacy, and she's like, no, I'm going to wait till I'm 50.
When I say 20, I'm moving along.
Okay.
When I say 23andMe, what immediately comes to mind? So 23andMe, just tell me what immediately pops into your head.
Who's my real dad?
You don't know who your real dad is?
I do,
No,
but
but
that's
that's
what I'm
what-
saying. Of course
in
I
general.
do. Saying that's what people,
It's the genealogy thing. You give like a sample
Right.
of DNA and they tell you where you're from.
Yeah,
or...
what are the two? There are two big ones. It's 23andMe, and what's the other one? Is it Ancestry?
Ancestry.
All right, so Ancestry and then 23andMe. Those are the two big ones. So when I say 23andMe, you immediately think of the genealogy, DNA.
Paternity.
Genetic testing, ancestry, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That would be wrong. 23andMe, the way that I'm presenting this today, has to do with the fact that an ophthalmologist removed 23 contact lenses from a patient's eye. Now that's 23andMe. A California ophthalmologist said that a patient made an appointment complaining about eye pain.
Okay.
Dr. Katerina Kurtiva, an eye doctor in Newport Beach, Southern California, thought maybe that the discomfort was like a scratched cornea or something like that. No. Apparently, the doctor used an instrument called an eyelid speculum to keep the upper and lower lids open. She then asked the patient to look down to be able to see further in. The doctor noticed edges of a couple of contact lenses that were jammed to each other under the eyelid. The doctor said, hey, can I take some pictures and videos with my phone?
Because my friends are never going to believe me that you have 23 contact lenses
They
in
were
your eye.
stuck under her eyelid.
Dr. Kurtiva said the woman had been wearing contact lenses for 30 years and believes it was a case of extreme oversight. This woman apparently would forget that she had contact lenses in and somehow accumulated 23 contact lenses jammed in her eyes that she forgot. They got stuck. She's sleeping in them. Maybe they rolled up, they rolled down.
Are there pictures of this lady?
Yes.
How do you not feel that? I don't wear them, but
It is. Do you have it? Oh, there it is. That's the picture.
Oh my God, they're all gangrened.
No, I think they were green contact lenses.
Oh, okay, that makes better sense.
I mean, well, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
But this is crazy. She had 23 contact lenses that she never removed, and they were jammed in her eye. How is this woman, it was not like over her pupil or over her, iris and pupil. It was all jammed down.
So it stays stuck to your eyeball, just floats away.
Yeah, if you picture, when you get the imaging done when you get your eye exam and you see your whole big eyeball, it was like all jammed down on other parts of it.
I feel sick.
So the doctor pulls out all of the contacts.
I don't think those are supposed to be green. They look like condoms almost.
She then placed the contacts on tissue paper, separated them, and counted 23 contact lenses in all jammed in this lady's eye that she had never taken out.
This lady should just go to glasses.
What is wrong with this woman?
Ugh. She obviously has a screw loose.
They're saying that this could have become infected. She might have lost her eye.
How did she not?
That's what they always say. That's if you're an ophthalmic surgeon, that's your go-to threat.
She has 23 lenses in her eye for 30 years.
Poppy, I might have lost an eye.
What an eye hole.
So what does 23andMe have to do with it?
It just says 23
Because it's
contact lenses.
23.
Oh.
You're just getting that now?
It has nothing to do with the site?
It has nothing.
We talked about ancestry and all that for nothing?
It has nothing, because when you think of 23andMe, you think of the DNA testing.
I get it.
But she had 23 contact lenses, and it's her, 23andMe contact lenses.
I'm like, what is this? The joke would have worked better if it was 23 and I.
Nice.
There you go. There you go, Fester. You got it. Hey, who wants to buy Rob Gronkowski's penthouse in downtown Tampa?
Tom Brady.
Maybe.
Place right
now. So how'd you like to buy the penthouse owned by
Chunk?
I don't have one that goes Gronk, but
Chunk.
That's close enough.
Chunk.
Gronk.
Chunk.
So $5 million. It is at the Towers of Channelside. And Gronk had the penthouse unit, and now it's for sale. You got 180-degree views of downtown and Ybor City.
You got that great view of the disgusting port right there, where all the cement ships come in.
That's true.
I mean, one side of Tampa Port's beautiful, the other side's a dump.
No, that's right. Listen,
close to the Leroy.
Yeah. So $5 million. If you actually, it's 5.4. So if you want to, I guess, use the bathroom that Gronk used, you could buy
with this lovely view of the parking garage at Sparkman's Wharf.
$5.4 million is the asking price, and of course, Gronk's out of here. Did I see Gronk has now been picked up as an analyst?
Good for him.
Gronk started this week. Is he on Fox?
Dude, I saw Gronk do some studio commentary during the year he took off before he joined the Bucs. It was the hardest thing to watch.
Was he just like, whatever, dude?
Because there's like all these.
I saw some shoe commercial that he did locally. That was tough to watch.
He has
too.
a good personality.
I mean, he does, but you put him in front of a camera with a bunch of former players who are now professional broadcasters, then there's Gronk is like, oh.
Is he on Fox? Did Fox? Can you look that up and not just?
No, I'm talking about like a couple years ago when he took that year off from where he retired from the Patriots before he came to the Buccaneers.
Right.
He was in the Fox studio and like Howie Long's like, "What do you think of that, Gronk?"
But also, did you see what was the commercial? Was it a Subway? Yeah, it's the Subway spots where they've hired all the athletes,
right?
And they hired Tom Brady. They hired, a lot of athletes. They hired
Derek Jeter's in them.
Oh, that's right, Derek. How much did Derek make for that Subway commercial?
Yeah, tell us exactly.
Oh, that's exactly what I do when I see him. Is I ask him, "How much did you make for?" No, I don't know. I don't know.
Does Doug know?
I don't
Doug
know.
negotiated the deal.
Yeah, Doug does his books.
And Doug.
Derek Jeter and Doug.
Steph Curry's in them.
And there's one where Gronk is in that Subway commercial, and they make Gronk seem like a dummy.
That's his thing. He's like the dumb jock.
But that's
his
what
whole
they do.
Gimmick.
So he's okay with that?
That's his shtick.
Yeah, listen, you want to cut me a check for $2 million, you can make me look like the biggest idiot in the world.
$2 million? You probably got more than that.
Wait, for a
Come
commercial?
on, dude. Give me a little more.
Is he on Fox? Is that who hired?
I was looking up
I
Subway
think he started this past weekend. I think he was in studio.
Hey, guys, thanks, for having me and whatever. I mean, whatever.
Is it? Yeah. Rob Gronkowski rejoining Fox as an analyst on Sunday for the rest of the season. They even have a new little music cue that they're playing. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Chunk. 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 Chunk.
Wow.
Chunk. Chunk.
Thanks for the introduction.
There it is. And you can get his penthouse if you got $5.4 million. It's all yours.
How often do you think he was there? He's probably never there.
All right, so Gronk posted on Twitter a video of him juggling, talking about him coming back to Fox. He is an amazing juggler.
Okay.
That's pretty good hand-eye coordination.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that.
I've got another airplane story. I got another airline story. How angry would this make you? If a passenger had a problem with a piece of luggage, a carry-on piece on the actual plane, in the cabin, I should say, how angry would you be if an odor from a passenger's carry-on bag is so bad that they have to make an emergency landing and then your flight is delayed until the next day? Can you imagine that? How would you like to be that passenger?
If you're that passenger, you really don't care because you're a selfish pig.
An American Airlines flight had to make an emergency return here to Florida because of a chemical odor. So the odor apparently was emanating from a passenger's carry-on bag, and it was permeating the whole cabin.
Was it like nail polish remover or something?
We don't know. But the flight was headed from Miami to Barbados, and 5 people on board were even taken to the hospital when the plane landed. I mean, what the hell was it, like a Jeffrey Dahmer? What was going on in this bag?
So that's the exact thing I was thinking about when you said a stinky bag. I mean, it was like a dead goat or something in there, some rotting flesh. What was so foul that it caused the plane to land?
My God. So 5 people taken to the hospital as a precaution. And we don't know what the hell it was. I have not seen. There was a chemical odor that spread from the passenger's bag into the whole cabin. It was American Airlines Flight 338. It left Miami International Airport Wednesday night, then went back at about 9 p.m. because of the chemical odor. The aircraft landed safely without incident. Customers deplaned via air stairs and were bused to the terminal. Emergency crews with the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue responded. Hazmat units performed a hazard assessment due to reports of a strong chemical smell inside the plane. 173 people on this plane.
That sucks.
They evacuated it. That we still don't know what the chemical odor was. A passenger did say it was similar to nail polish remover. But why? Why wouldn't the crew open up the bag and let's say a jar of nail polish remover spilled? Why would you need to turn the whole damn plane around?
Right.
I don't know. People start smelling a chemical smell, that acetone smell. They might think it's gas. People don't know, and the pilot's just putting it down for safety reasons.
But this is what sucks, is they were supposed to be there on Wednesday night. They didn't they didn't leave Miami until 9:22. The flight left again for Grantley Adams International Airport at 9:22. So they didn't leave till 9:22 the next morning, Thursday morning in Miami.
That sucks.
I mean, how bad is that?
So annoying.
I mean, and what do you do? I mean, do you yell at the passenger? Do you hit him? I mean, what do you?
I think you hit them.
Do you want that passenger on your plane for the make good flight when you're like?
Hey, my bad, guys. Sorry, everybody, about yesterday. We'll have a great flight today, though, I promise.
Yeah, my bag's not going to reek today.
My bad.
Who said Jeffrey Dahmer?
Well, you said
Did
it,
I say that?
and then I was like, that's what I was thinking of when you were talking about a stinking, rotting bag.
Guess what Jeffrey Dahmer has to say about all the Halloween costumes that are popping up with the Jeffrey Dahmer theme?
The Jeffrey Dahmer isn't saying much.
Yeah, what are you talking
about?
No,
25 years.
What did I just say?
Guess what Jeffrey Dahmer is saying?
I'm sorry, Jeffrey
He's
Dahmer.
probably saying the same thing as Elvis.
No, I'm saying, hang on. No, I meant to say Jeffrey Dahmer's mother.
Oh.
I thought I said that.
The mother's dead.
Right. Mom of Jeffrey Dahmer victims.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This is
I know. All right, listen. I'll get my schnitt together here, folks.
Okay.
I'll get it together. No, Jeffrey Dahmer's dad is still alive.
Lionel is still alive.
Lionel Dahmer is like 86 years old, and he's still alive. I looked him up on Wikipedia. He's still alive.
We have become Facebook friends, Lionel and I.
No, you haven't.
Okay, that's not true.
I wonder, you think he's watched the Netflix series? You think he's watched Dahmer?
I wouldn't be surprised if he made money off of being a consultant on it.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But the mother of a Jeffrey Dahmer victim is aggravated, angry, speaking out about the evil Halloween costume portraying Jeffrey Dahmer that many are adopting because of, well, the series is like the number 2 watched series of all time now on Netflix, and Halloween is in 2 weeks.
As you should. I mean, if I were in her position, I'd be in the same position.
I don't want to see any kids come trick or treat at my door dressed like him.
Yeah, Shirley Hughes, the mother of Dahmer victim Tony Hughes, told TMZ that the disturbing Jeffrey Dahmer costume trend for this Halloween is exploiting the 17 victims, and she's traumatized and she's disgusted. She's outraged. She calls that the evil Jeffrey Dahmer Halloween costumes, and that no one should be celebrating or trying to memorialize Jeffrey Dahmer by being Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween. And you know that this is going to be big at a lot of adult parties.
Absolutely.
They're gonna be
What's the costume? It's just glasses and a...
I have a picture
You're going
here.
to walk around with body parts?
Yeah, Froggy, I have a picture here of like a 12-year-old kid dressed as Dahmer, and he has a leftover Justin Bieber wig from a couple of years ago that's combed nicer, the aviator glasses, and like a striped button-up shirt.
That's kind of creepy.
No, those aren't really aviator glasses.
It's like that frame, that wide frame.
Yeah, but those are not... Aviators are cool. Those glasses are not cool.
Okay,
so they're not aviators.
He has aviator glasses without tinted lenses.
No, they're not an aviator shape. They're like a big bulbousy, too big for your face frame. It's like that 1970s, that like middle-aged woman eyeglass frame from the 1980s, you know? Big, giant, like Sally Jesse Raphael sized glasses.
Aviators are cool when Joe Biden's wearing them. They're suddenly creepy when Dahmer's wearing them.
He's not wearing, they're not aviators.
They're nerd 80s glasses.
Stop calling them aviators. They're not aviator glasses, Fester. Stop it.
Did his glasses ever sell? Weren't they for sale last week?
Yes, we had a story that Jeffrey Dahmer's prison glasses could be yours for like $250,000.
Did they ever find a buyer?
Also, the broomstick that was used on him, $250. Now, by the way, that's not true. He was never.
Really?
No, yeah. I thought that was a rumor going around, but upon further research, they never used a broomstick on him.
Unfortunately,
in prison. But the mother of one of the victims, she is very, very angry. I mean, Tony Hughes was a 17-year-old who was deaf and could not speak. So Dahmer met him in a Milwaukee gay bar in 1991, then went home with him. Why was a 17-year-old deaf kid in a gay bar?
They cover that in the show? I sort of gave up on the show.
I think they positioned him. I thought he was older by how he was represented in the show. I thought he was like in his mid-20s. But I didn't know he was 17.
I guess these glasses are called Wayfarer glasses.
You got just what I need.
No, those aren't Wayfarers. The Wayfarers are the Tom Cruise. The Wayfarers are the Tom Cruise like risky business glasses.
You mean the aviators?
Jesus, like MJ's working at sunglass
guys,
over here.
They're not sunglasses. They are not aviators. They're not Wayfarers. They're goofy, chunky, plastic 1980s big frame glasses.
They're Kips from Napoleon
Look, hang on.
Dynamite.
Andrew's got Dahmer glasses on.
Let me see.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, like Kip, exactly.
I'm joking.
MJ works at the Sunglass Hut.
This
is part-time job.
Can you tell me about these Oakleys, sir?
Oh, can you adjust mine? I think
you have a little microscopic screwdriver to tighten my arm.
Guys, I'm just telling you.
All right, fine. All right. I didn't mean to piss you off about what kind of glasses Dahmer wears. Jeez. Those aren't aviators. I know aviators. And that's not aviators.
The Tampa Bay this is weird.
This was quick.
Yeah.
This is strange. This is a weird story. Ladies and gentlemen, a Tampa Bay Lightning update. I mean, everyone thought he was done. How did it get to the point of him being accused then? I'm talking about Cole. I'm talking about Ian Cole, who was suspended from the team because there was a story going around that he had an improper relationship with a teenager, and then people were accusing him of grooming this teenager. And now the investigation has been closed, and Ian Cole, boom, back on the Lightning. Be the investigation.
Was it all a rumor or something? Or
It started with a Twitter. Was it a Twitter post or an Instagram post? It was a social media post.
It was on Twitter on October 7th. So in about a week, the Twitter post first appears. He gets suspended. He gets reinstated after a thorough 4-day investigation. They couldn't find any evidence.
This is from Channel 8. Listen to this. The Tampa Bay Lightning have reinstated Ian Cole after an NFL investigation found... what did I say?
NHL.
Well, that's the problem. It was an NFL investigation.
Yeah.
It was all wrong. NHL. Let me. I didn't get much sleep last night.
National Hockey League investigation.
Right. So the Lightning have reinstated Ian Cole after a NHL investigation found no evidence to support the sexual abuse allegations against him. 13-year vet in the NHL. He was suspended on October 9th. After a Twitter user claimed that Cole groomed and sexually assaulted her for years, beginning when she was a minor in high school. The league said its security and legal departments tried to get in touch with the anonymous user, but those efforts were unsuccessful. Investigators reportedly interviewed Cole twice, as well as other Lightning members, combed through social media and law enforcement records to find information. The National Hockey League now considers this matter closed. The NHL wrote in a statement over the weekend, Ian Cole has been cleared to return to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning, in the statement, said the organization takes these accusations very seriously and supports the conclusion from the NHL investigation. And then Cole put out a statement with the team. He denied the allegation, said he was looking forward to suiting up with the Lightning. But, this stuff kind of damages you. Hopefully people will forget it if it's false. So was this someone that just anonymously did like this hit and run anonymous, hit job? Was it like
That's what it appears from what the conclusion of the investigation is.
Was this like slashing?
So you can open an anonymous Twitter account?
Was this like throwing Cole against the boards? Just trying to use some hockey terminology.
I mean, you open up an anonymous Twitter account, you can say anything about anybody.
Yeah.
And then they get suspended, and then there's an investigation that takes a week to figure out that there was nothing.
So how did it get to a suspension? Why couldn't they? Someone can make an anonymous allegation, and then you get suspended. That doesn't seem right either for Ian Cole.
In this day and age, you have to react to first accusations. If it turned out to be credible, then they'd be like, well, why didn't you suspend him the second you heard something was amiss?
All right. Folks, when we get back, the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on a Monday, and there's a weird story out of St. Petersburg here. Very strange story. I'm hoping this is a one-off. I'm hoping this is not going to be a theme. Hold on to your shoes, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very, very odd story, so I'll bring you the details on that. Plus, we got a ton of loose ends that we got to get to. I'll get to this. Did you hear what's going on with snow crabs?
Is it snow crabs season?
Yes, it is. And there's a problem.
Yeah. If you like snow crabs, there's a big, big problem. Like the all-you-can-eat buffets that have the snow crabs?
Dude, I had a couple of incidents at those buffets.
Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a good subject.
Hold on. We got a lot of things to cram in the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show next here on Q105, so stand by. MJ Morning Show on Q105. 9:34. All right, I'm just looking at the pile here just to make sure we can get everything in before we shut things down here on a Monday. What are you shaking your head at, Fester? You're shaking your head.
Nah, we can't get it all in. We can't. It's impossible. We cannot get it all in.
I'm just trying to prioritize here. All right, a couple of things. First of all, there was some maniac homeless guy that kicked the lady in the stomach, then stole her shoes in St. Pete.
Oh, no.
It's awful.
I hope this is not a trend. What does a homeless guy want with a lady's shoes?
Well, okay.
I don't know if they were Malono. What is it? Malono Blahniks? How do you say that?
Manolo
Manolo
Blahniks.
Manolo Blahniks.
No.
Well, what are the ones with the red bottoms?
Christian Louboutin.
Do you have any of those?
Louboutin. No, I don't. Mm-mm.
You don't have any Christian Louboutins?
No, I don't.
You don't have any bottoms.
You don't have any red bottom shoes?
Nope.
Yeah, but she has like 14 pair of Jessica Simpson shoes. So that's actually really nice.
Hey, did you ever get the pictures from your wife?
Yes, I do have them.
I guess we'll do that tomorrow. It's kind of late in the game here.
No, I've had them all morning. I thought I'd let you know.
But you didn't tell me you had them.
Oh, yeah, let's do it tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, something happened to Kim's car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hang on. Well, we got some pictures.
Very devious.
We'll tell the story tomorrow. Yeah, so this happened, I guess, in Largo.
So in Pinellas County?
Yeah, this is Largo, Florida, not Largo, Maryland, where the dead woman was in the restroom and they just kept the restaurant open.
Okay, I said it like that because you said it was the St. Pete, and then you said Largo.
No, it's the St. Pete, the transient, the homeless dude is from St. Pete.
Okay.
Which, really? How do you know he's from St. Pete if he's wandering all over the place?
Well,
they have their areas. Usually.
I'm on the 175 bridge.
All right, so this is a St. Pete homeless transient guy. They arrested him over the weekend.
So he's obviously vacationing if he went to Largo.
According to Largo police, he was on a staycation. Yeah.
Well, now when you're homeless, Largo is quite the hike.
So he heads over to Largo, and this homeless dude by the name of Christopher Paul Daw, 52 years old, and Largo police wanted to have a word with this guy because he allegedly was spitting on cars around West Bay Drive. And then, according to the arrest report, this guy, Daw, then jumped and kicked a woman in the stomach, knocked her to the ground. As she's on the ground, he rips her shoes off her feet and takes her shoes.
Ugh.
What's he going to do with those?
I don't know.
Hold on. Spitting at passing cars is illegal?
Well, I think if you hit one, it probably is.
I had no idea.
So he's spitting at cars. Then he knocks a woman down after doing was it like some kind of a Chuck Norris in the air karate kick?
Sounded like a lazy front kick. Right to the chest.
Knocks the woman down. She's on the ground. And then he takes her shoes off and runs away.
He's a shoe freak.
And then
He's going to lick them.
Oh my God. Roxanne, really?
I mean,
they have one of those people that
there's a Largo shoe licker?
No, there's an Ybor City shoe licker.
There's been plenty of shoe lickers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, we talked about that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that guy's disgusting.
The Largo licker is a new guy. He's his cousin.
So he runs into Walgreens. So knocks the lady down. What she wants some? Why did he run into Walgreens? So stole the lady's shoes. Was he looking for some new Dr. Scholl's inserts or something?
Yeah, he needed some socks maybe.
I mean, the shoes fit. They just weren't super comfortable. Yeah. So get the insoles.
Yeah, these are going to give me corn, so I'm going to get those little corn things you put on,
Oh, a little Band-Aid?
Those little Band-Aid things that you put on. I've never used those in my life.
Have you ever had a corn?
You get corns? I mean, I have to say.
No, that's disgusting.
No. Corns seem like something that died with my grandmother.
I've had broccoli on my feet, though, but no corn on my feet.
Yeah,
I had asparagus toes one time. Yeah.
It's so hot.
Anyway, so this guy ran into Walgreens, and the cops confronted him. He admitted to kicking the victim after he was read his rights. You have the right to remain silent. And then they were able to retrieve the lady's shoes, and the shoes were given back to the woman. And he was charged with robbery by sudden snatching and felony battery. And this guy was previously convicted for battery. So why is he on the street? Keep these people locked up.
Yeah, we don't keep people locked up forever. Yeah, I mean,
you kick someone lady in the stomach and you steal her shoes, that's 15 years as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
If you were the guy that had the shoes stolen, If your shoes have been in a possession of a homeless guy for the last, 2 hours, do you want them back?
Hey, speaking of getting hit, you see Harry Styles was doubled over. Someone threw a bottle at his groin on stage.
Oh, and they nailed him right in the...
They did, right in the jimmy.
Good for them.
What do you mean good for them? I don't want to see Harry Styles attacked.
It's good aim.
I saw him on, who's the guy after Colbert that's actually the best on late night television? James Cordon Bleu.
James, yeah.
Yeah. So, James Corden. I saw Harry Styles on that show one time. I think they were doing the karaoke thing, and I thought it was great.
Hey, a big Harry Styles fan, huh?
I'm not really a Harry. He was One Direction, right?
Yes. You don't want to see him get hit with a water bottle in the junk, so it sounds like you're a pretty big fan to me.
Listen, I don't want to see anyone get hit in the junk.
I do.
I
don't want to see Bruce Springsteen. I don't want to see Billy Joel.
What about Elton John?
I don't want to see Elton John.
Out of my weenie.
What about Phil Collins?
I don't want to see Phil Collins.
Do you want to see him get hit in the mouth with a toothbrush?
Please.
I don't want to see anyone hitting the groin on stage. Well, I'm sure there's some people.
I would actually.
Kanye West. I would like to see Kanye West hit with those T-shirt cannons.
He's right in the.
Yeah, you need to get like a 20-ounce Dr. Pepper bottle, load it in a T-shirt cannon, and fire the thing right at Kanye's groin. Because you saw the latest on Kanye now, right? What is wrong with this guy? Now he's making anti-Semitic statements. Is he trying to get canceled?
Almost sounds like it.
I think he's trying to be as awful to every segment of society as he possibly can.
So now he is going after the Jewish media. So he's rolling out all these anti-Semitic tropes. Man, Kanye, he's mentally ill.
He's blowing up his career is what he's doing.
Kanye West he's admitted that he's bipolar, right? He's admitted, he's had interviews.
He seems to be beyond bipolar.
But something is wrong with the guy.
He's tripolar.
He's quadpolar.
Come on, the guy is just out of control. His kids can't see him. Kim's ignoring him.
Kanye, why are you so crazy?
I'm showing up at my daughter's basketball.
But wait a minute. So he's making these anti-Jewish statements. He's made other crazy statements. Now he's also saying that Kris Jenner, the mother, had sex with Drake, the artist.
Go Drake.
Go Drake. Go Chris.
What is going on here?
He also said he wants his daughters to leave their school and go to his Donda University.
Oh, well.
I don't know. And then George Floyd, the guy that was killed up in Minneapolis. George Floyd's family lawyer says they're considering suing Kanye for wild claims about George Floyd's death. So they got George Floyd's families after Kanye West.
What did he do to George?
Crazy.
They said a bunch of craziness.
They're considering a lawsuit regarding that.
Leave the Floyd family alone.
A preview of a clip from an upcoming episode of Drink Champs showed West discussing the Floyd case and claiming that he said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. The guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that.
All right.
Oh, he was saying they put fentanyl on his?
So Kanye, he's like pissing everyone off.
And yet everybody pays attention to him.
He's like Morton Downey Jr.
I don't know. He might have done himself in this time.
I think this time he's going a little deep.
And finally, I guess we can get the video up. Andrew, I don't typically do foreign stories, but before we get out of here, there was a story out of Edinburgh in Scotland where, Chloe's not far from Edinburgh. And these activists went into a supermarket and they don't like the way that the dairy cow industry operates. So these activists walk into the supermarket and just start opening up like half gallons and gallons of milk, and they're just dumping it all over the floor.
Yeah. Oh, this looks like a good time.
Just dumping the crap all over the place.
It's everywhere.
And listen, if I were the manager of that store, I would tackle them and put them in a freaking headlock, is what I would do. I wouldn't put up with that garbage. Hey, Andrew, can you get the video? Let's put that thing up on. There's a whole array of videos on Twitter and social media. You have these animal activists that are not happy with dairy cow treatment. So they go into a supermarket and they're just dumping the milk all over the floor, opening up the bottles, the containers.
I want to be there when they get mad about the whipped cream and squirt that all over the store.
There you go. All right.
That's a party.
Folks, I want to talk about